Well, hello. It's been a little while on my channel here of Glory of Golden State Gaming, and we're back for a really fun event, I guess. We're reviewing the list, the big list review for the Masters, the North American Masters. And if we have time, we'll fit in the team tournament, or we'll do it at a later date. We'll see how this all goes. But hey, everyone. A month and a half ago, I had a baby son, and it's been crazy. And this is my first video back. I miss doing Ninth Age videos, but I'm you know, having a kid's great too. So it's a bit of a crazy set of circumstances for me. But I've assembled out of the darkness an amazing panel of judges to view these lists. Let's start at the bottom. ETC captain Andrew. How you doing?
I'm doing good, buddy. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I missed you guys.
Congratulations, by the way. I know we haven't talked in a while, but yeah, congratulations on the baby.
Thank you very much.
How's that going?
It's, you know, it's going. I don't know if it's going well, but it's not a whole lot. Next up, a friend of the channel, the genius behind amazing lists, Mr. Henry, how are you?
Pretty good. It's always fun to come back and plug in the Ninth Age brain from time to time.
Yes, exactly. And lastly, the jester of the court of fools, the man who
largest but not least
could never say no to a charge, Josh Gurney.
Yeah. Never met a charge you didn't like. It's so bad it spills over into credit cards. When you said let's start at the bottom, I figured that was, you know.
I think
And save you for last.
I think Jester in a Court of Fools means that Josh is the straight man, not
That's
the
you know
fool. But
he just might be. We all might be the fools, and he's the genius.
Yeah, he's been playing one army for 30 years, and meanwhile I'm painting armies for a game I'm like firmly unsure if I'm going to play. So yeah, Josh might actually be the genius here.
So we are doing a list review for the Masters, which is what we did this year. Is we pushed the Masters and the North American Team Championships into the same weekend. The Masters is occurring Thursday and Friday, and it's 2 games on Thursday, 3 games on Friday. So, and then the games on Thursday start in the afternoon. So if you can fly in Thursday morning, and then the team championship starts just like a regular tournament schedule on Saturday morning, and then 3 games and then 2 games on Sunday. A massive weekend of gaming, massive. A few of you are, including Henry, are going for the full shebang, which I'm very excited about. And this year, since as I said, I had a brand new son, I'm unavailable to run the tournament. So Jeff Durham has stepped in, and he's running it for me with a considerable amount of help from Mark Cierlone. So you'll see them there. Thank you guys for doing this for me. But it's still my tournament, and I'm excited to do this list review.
Jeff going hog wild.
So, for the Masters, we're going to go over the Masters list here. They're all on the screen. The thing that's different is Jeff decided to clump the parallel tournament, the Gemini tournament, in with the Masters. So, it'll be one tournament, but still to gain the title of North American Master, it can't be one of the Gemini players. So, we're going to go through all the lists.
Well, I'm willing to take interesting offers from a Gemini player if I end up winning it, but they want to be the master. If that's what happens, Gemini players come and see me after the event. We can work something out.
There you go.
He's going cheap.
You heard it here first. So first round pairings and scenarios for the Masters, they are going to be revealed day of. You guys are Masters players. You should respond to this as Master players with excellent tactician thought, and anyway, it's going to be spur of the moment.
But I think
that's the way it should be.
I think the scenarios are up, just not the pairings for Masters.
He released the scenarios for for the team tournament.
The Master, yeah.
and Masters.
Oh, he did?
I thought it was just Masters.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Masters.
Masters General Discord. Round 1, Dawn Assault, hold the ground. Round 2, Encircle Breakthrough. Round 3, Frontline Spoils. Round 4, Marching Column, Secure Target.
Okay.
Round 5, Counter Thrust, Flags.
Okay, I completely lied to you. But the pairings will be, Dave.
That was like 13 minutes ago. So
I thought it was just
So
the team tournament. There you go.
a while ago. That was the team tournament, not the Masters?
he did both. Team tournament has pairings and missions. Masters just has missions.
There you go. You heard it first. So round 1, when we're thinking about round 1, it's going to be Dawn Assault, hold the ground. Encircle Breakthrough, round 2. Frontline Clash Spoils, round 3. Marching Column, Secure Target, 4. And Counter Thrust Flags, round 5. I mean, pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
These are the first the deployments and secondary objectives we've been playing with for years, so it shouldn't be any surprise to anyone.
Yeah. As I will just say this once, seasonal rotation would have been the greatest thing to happen to Ninth Age. It's not going to happen now, but I would love seasonal rotations
Yeah.
of missions and lores. But that could be an entire episode. But this game should have had seasonal rotations for missions and deployments.
I agree with you. I actually agree with you. I think that would be great. They had that supplemental pack of different deployments. Some were pretty interesting, but it stayed as supplemental stuff.
Yeah, they actually voted out for ETC. There is a new deployment and secondary mission for ETC this year, which is actually pretty exciting.
But
Did they already announced
it doesn't
which
transfer to the metric system to the
except it's all in centimeters and kilograms.
Yeah. Yeah, so they got a new deployment and scenario for ETC. They're getting rid of marching columns and taking away flags. And yeah, they're introducing 2 other ones. So actually pretty good.
I think those are not the 2 I would have gotten rid of. But
well, they had to get rid of it.
As I said in another episode, that's
so many thoughts.
Yeah. So
I can think of one particular dwarf that will be very pleased that Marching Columns is on the skids.
Okay.
All right. In
Masters.
chat, Sean Mooney is in the chat. Everyone say hi to Sean.
Hi, Sean.
What's up, Sean?
Let's start with the first
Thanks
list.
for watching my wayward children for NATC, Sean. Sorry, I can't captain my own team.
The first list is Jorge's, coming in from Mexico City. Jorge's an awesome guy. Let's see here. He is running his Infernal Dwarves, which he loves very much. A Prophet General on foot, it looks like. Master on Alchemy. A Vizier BSB, Death Cheater Infernal Weapon. A Vassal Conjurer, Adept on Pyromancy. 30 Citadel Guard with Pistol Spear. 37 Vassal Levies with Spear Shield. 20 Vassal Levies with Pair Weapons Bows. 30 Immortals, love it, with Flaming Standard. 10 Torok Enforcers with Great Weapons and Blunderbuss. Oh, those are not the... Those
are the baby ones.
Yeah, you don't see those very
are
often.
baby ones. They're dirt cheap for the point cost, what they do. That's actually a really good unit.
A Titan Mortar, a Katim Titan with Walking Volcano, and a Citizen Giant with the Infernal Lash.
And Big Brother.
It's a good... I mean, he's going all in on the Flaming Standard and Alchemy, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple things that stand out. The Prophet is the one that's going to give better aim to the mortar, so it's going to be very nearby the mortar. I would have liked to see this banner Discipline on Enforcers, because they're typically going to be on the flank, so they'll have a 2x9 on Panic Test. The Lash is interesting because on the Giant, because he can pass off flaming attacks to a unit that's already used its flaming banner.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
It actually goes off at a pretty high agility, too. That's one of its big downfalls on the Lash part of it. On the charge, it actually might go before or at the same time as Elves.
Right? Yeah, it's like 7 or 8.
It's pretty fast on the agility on the Giant. The mortals are just going to be a big brick that you're just going to have to avoid. Can't get rid of them. That's way too many for most people to take care of.
Yeah, that's
with
that's definitely an anvil, a point sink. I'm assuming the Prophet's gonna go in there. Maybe.
Possibly. See, that's the problem with the Prophet, because he has to be within 3 inches to give the engineer rule. So it's going to be interesting how he plays that, because he's kind of anchored to that mortar.
It's weird that he's so tanky if he's going to be just kind of hanging out by himself too.
Yeah, I would have loved to see the Prophet be a Luger and give him 4 Aegis. And that way he can run around with the Mortals or the Citadel Guard. I love that Citadel Guard unit with pistols and spears.
Yeah.
That unit will take a charge from pretty much anything in the game and stick on the first round of combat. A major rule that a lot of people forget on ID is they get double ranks when they get charged. So a lot of people think they'll break it, and they're going to be there for days.
Yeah, yeah. That's a sneaky rule that everyone always forgets.
I like this list. It's a little conservative for what I think the ID book is capable of. Mm-hmm. But I've played, I think, 3 Masters or Team Tournaments games with Jorge now, and they're all... He's a very tight but cautious player. So the list matches the player fairly well.
To be honest, this list is not geared for Masters. It's actually better for NATC. Like, I imagine with him traveling, this is a list that you just throw up there and block everybody for NATC.
That's a very good point, yeah.
With him traveling, he probably doesn't want to bring different sets of models. But this is a far superior list for a team tournament than it is like a solo tournament.
Yeah,
like he'll win.
Master on Alchemy alone screams team tournament over singles.
Yeah. One other thing I would possibly, I understand why you do Pyro for extra range damage, but I actually would have loved to see a Witchcraft Wizard there for the Conjurer. A lot of people will sit on Raven's Wing and just allow all those other chip damage spells to go off.
Well, and even the agility weapon skill buff for Infernal Dwarves is huge, because that 1 pip is all it takes most of the time.
Yep, for sure.
The Kadim Titan looks like he's been spending time on the West Coast. He got the thrower from the Napa Valley, right?
Yep, Napa Valley. He's drinking wine.
Oh boy. Oh, Josh.
It's going to be a long one.
I missed you, Josh. I missed you.
You're over here thinking we can get through teams too.
So how really do you use those enforcers? You just throw them up a flank, get 1 shot off with the blunderbusses, and then sit there with some great weapons? I don't know.
You kind of get 2, right? Because you can move up to max range, get a shot, and get a stand and shoot most of the time.
Yep. And they
also they're the cav that's perfect for anti-cav, because they have the blunderbuss, and then they just have great weapons. And it's like, yeah, come on in. Like, take a round of shooting and then come on in, please.
Yeah, a lot of things on your flanks are going to be big monsters, small units, and that unit will go through a monster, most of them, because they can't be stomped, even though they're standard size.
Yeah.
So you lose a lot of that. They have 2 attacks apiece. Leadership 9.
They also seem perfect for KOE.
They will annoy KOE. And another thing is they are standard size, so they get the double ranks rules that a lot of people will forget. Whereas the enforcers do not get that, or the anointed don't get that.
And even just being 12 away from a lance is a round of shooting, then stand-in shooting, and then everyone who lives is swinging with a great weapon.
Yep.
So, yeah, bring a lance into that.
And they're toughness 5 for 400 points. For 400 points, there's not many units in the game that can say that. So.
And breakthrough's going to be in the pack, so you need something that can move at a decent speed that scores.
Hey, it's a good list. It's a good list. Man, those enforcers are interesting. Interesting. All right.
It indicates perfect list.
perfect list. Mike Maddox. We all know Mike Maddox. Warriors the Dark Gods. Double Feldrake Ancestor. Both with Great Weapon. One's the General. A Veilwalker Sorcerer on a Steed. Master on Alchemy. With Plate, Magical Heirloom, Ledger of Souls. 2x12 Fallen. 2x8 Barb Horseman. One with Great Weapon. One with Paired Weapons. 10 Chosen of Gluttony with the Flaming Standard. 10 Warrior Knights with Sloth. Hellmaw, Warhound.
Mike has delicately and at long length massaged every single point in this list to serve a purpose. So I've played Mike twice in this list. This is his, vintage team tournament list. And it's if you don't sit on those Hellmaw portals like your life depended on it, you'll realize that your life depended on it rather rapidly. So I made that mistake once and then learned my lesson, and then promptly made it again because apparently I hadn't learned my lesson. And so if I play him again, hopefully third time's a charm. But this is a list he knows how to use.
I was gonna say, if this is a Josh story that's like I made the mistake once and I learned my lesson, I was gonna be like,
I don't
there's
believe that.
no way this
I don't
story's about
believe that.
you.
Yeah.
Like Path of an Arrow.
I mean, Mike is co-captain of the ETC with me.
Yeah.
This is Mike's list that he's been running for 18 months. A lot of people sleep on this list with Mike, and they still don't learn. Mike was top points at ETC last year with this list. Mike is very dangerous with this list, and he knows it in and out.
Yeah, the character setup I saw a lot in the early part of last year in like the UK meta as well, the double Feldrake and the Master. And it's weird because I expected it to like kind of spread like wildfire for the US because double Feldrake is the most American idea that you could possibly have. And it just like didn't seem as popular as it should be over here, but it's really solid. Like the numbers on just what an ancestor costs for what you get
8 wounds
is just incredible. Yeah, 8 wounds, a breath weapon.
It's just a lot to deal with.
Great weapon is free.
If you don't have something set up to take down a Feldrake Ancestor, you're kind of in trouble. But then which not a whole lot of lists do, but if you're facing 2 of them, they're just such a problem. And then you've got these 10 Chosen and these 10 Warrior Knights.
If you can slot 1, you probably can't slot 2.
It's more than that. Like a lot of people sleep on those Chosen. They look at them, they're like only strength 4, shields.
Oh, Chosen are so good.
But then people will feed that unit chaff, and then they get ramped up. And Mike is very, very good with setting up his reroll the wounds with that unit. The main thing that beat this list is get rid of the wizard, but it's a whole lot harder than it is because Mike's list revolves around that wizard. I played Mike last night, and I still can't get a hold of that thing without snipes. And
because he just runs around and then hops between the 2 Barb Horseman unit, right?
He does that, and he'll shoot him through the portal, and he'll reposition the whole unit away from wherever you want to be. This list is phenomenal. Mike's a phenomenal player. I have nothing but respect for Mike in his list.
So it all makes sense to me, but the one question I have is, what's the point of the 2 units of 12 Fallen?
Because they're disgusting. They cheap core. They fill out his core their bare minimum.
Their cheap core and their output is offensive. Yeah. Like if that was in a lab that had come out in the last year and a half, people would have been like, oh, this needs to get fixed. This needs to get fixed right now. And it's just like, it's old enough that it's fine now. But the output for Fallen is nuts.
It's 24 attack, strength 4, AP 1, 4 armor. They move 6-12.
For some reason, weapon skill 5? Offense 5.
5-2.
Yeah.
5-2. Yeah, they just go, and they're only 250 points. He has no problem getting rid of them and throw them out there to weaken a unit, and then other things follow up.
Yep, offense 5, agility 5 with a charge.
Yep, and then he'll shoot them through portals and wreak havoc in your backfield if you're not paying attention. So,
Yeah, after the big redesign of the Helma, like it just disappeared off the face of the earth. But it's still movement is still the base of this game. Like you win the movement phase, you win the game, and it's like,
for sure.
And the Helma is just amazing at screwing up all your plans with movement.
I think actually one of the biggest changes. There we go. I can speak today. To the Helma is not needing to. Like they redesigned the Helma a lot, but one of the subtle changes is they removed the need to pretty much have a second one.
Yeah. There's no need for a two.
Because that was one of the biggest problems with the old Helma lists, was you had 700 points wrapped up in your two Helmas.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just 330 points for one.
310.
Yeah. You round. You round. You have to buy the two musicians to get there.
So one question: what's the list that beats this list? What?
It's not even a list. It's a smart player.
Yeah.
You have to.
It's much more tactics in the list. Yeah.
He's gonna do a lot of dancing, and if he finds out he can't win, or he's gonna get the chip damage on the flank, and then pull himself out.
Yeah, this is the kind of list that runs around you and cuts you up rather than punches you in the face. It can punch you in the face if you let it, but the sheer amount of movement that comes out of two Feldrek ancestors is enough to run around and pick up points where there are points worth picking up.
A mobile list will give him fits. Mike's Bane, and does that even matter? He does well against him, but Mike has issues with KOE just because the book is so extremely overpowered. If someone's making ward saves against Mike's head's gonna explode in smoke. And I got phone calls, texts from Mike saying naughty things about KOE sometimes. So it's funny.
Bane's gonna pop in his forehead.
I feel like this list has a pretty bad matchup against like the kind of traditional Sylvan style lists, but there's literally not Sylvans at the Masters or teams.
Yeah.
Just apparently that book did not see print in the US. Like in Europe, they printed that book, but there was a shortage in the US and we just don't own it. So.
And that's the crazy thing. Like 2 months ago, when I was still playing, like Sylvan elves were the hotness. Like they were all. I was seeing them all over the place.
Yeah, but yeah, tons of shooting will make Mike feel pressure, and then he'll have to push forward. So, but we'll see.
We shall see. Okay. Mike, best of luck to you. I'm glad to see you here. Oh, someone named Bilbo fucking Baggins is Mr. Henry here. Henry, go over your list, please. Tell us all the secrets.
Okay, so it is Orcs and Goblins, Orc, Shaman Master on Thom, Orc Shaman Adept on Pyro with Binding Scroll, Adept on Shamanism, and General, who's just got defensive kit pretty much. 47 Feral Orcs with Bows, Banner of Speed, 27 Feral Orcs with Bows, 26 Feral Orcs with Bows, 35 Vets with Spears and Head Bashers, 24 Iron Orcs, 24 Iron Orcs, and 2 Splatters. So biggest thing about this list is there may or may not be the exact same model count and unit sizing for my Asklander list for the team tournament.
There's green Asklanders. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Asklander.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just me. It's just 200 plus bodies that has a solid ranged game, and if you want to fight it, you might guess. That's the basic idea.
Yeah, it's a lot. How many bow shots is that? That's 60.
It's 100
80.
orcs with bows. It's 100 orcs with bows and double stone thrower and a Thom Master.
And Pyromancy Adept, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're rocking, what, the double +1 toughness, right? Or the -1 strength and +1 toughness. You have a
you can triple tap because of pyro, so you can have
and the
-1 to
cloak of
wounds,
cinders, yeah,
-1
and
strength.
mhm.
So you can do the ogre trick if you want. You can also just have the best magic missile in the game, which is Swarm of Insects, backed up by all of Thom. And you have enough bodies that you can do close range comets and just not care. Like, I'll trade 8 orcs for 8 warriors any day of the week on a comet. So it's like, yeah, sure. Just comets in my own face, and if you want to come fight me under a comet, find out.
And what are the 2 weapon types that Feral Orcs start with?
They start with paired spears and shields, and lose it in the
after the first
sprint round.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
spears is what matters.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, it's not fancy or exciting or fun. It is a list.
That's the kind of list you bring to Masters. Is just not fun at all.
No,
it is a list that is designed to play 10 games of 9th Age and maybe enjoy 5 of them. So that's what we're doing.
The New Orcs and Goblin book is actually really fun. I like the New Orcs and Goblin book. I mean, I know there's a lot of backlash about some of it, but I played 24 games against it. I love the New Orcs and Goblin book.
One of my biggest takeaways actually is after submitting the list and playing some games with it, I really wish I could find room for the 3rd unit of Black Orcs. They've just impressed me every single time. And just that small size is just, they've been great.
And they're bodyguard with the Warlord?
No, so Head Bashers are bodyguard with the Warlord.
Gotcha.
Black Orcs are just fearless now. They lost the Universal.
They lost it, okay.
But they have 1 higher AP than their base AP2. And they picked up halberds as a weapon master option now.
Yeah, I
which
did
is
see that.
pretty
After that,
good.
They did that the latest rendition.
Yeah, it's pretty good versus the things that you'd normally want a great weapon, but you don't want to swing Simo with, like dwarves, other orcs, ogres. The halberd is kind of just a great option. But yeah, list isn't anything much. The biggest thing is going to be explaining which Asklanders go to which orcs, but I have a pretty easy breakdown of that.
So the question is, what kind of list? What kind of list kills this list? Shooting?
Asklanders make a mess of that list.
Fast movement, some shooting. Fast movement on the
Shooting,
flanks.
Shooting, I'm not sure I agree with, but fast flying, like if
I guess it depends on the kind of shooting. If you have
double dragon, like double dragon, scourge, and courtesan, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that definitely
is very rough.
Or maybe double Feldrake Ancestor.
Feldrake Ancestor is not as bad because they can't like puddle hop you. Like you can kind of turn to face them and they're there. But anything that has flying movement, if it can charge over a unit of ferals or over that like bodyguard star, is just nightmare fuel. Like the second a dragon's behind you, the game's over. Which is why most of the time you just sit there with the list and you shoot them. And you're like, man, I'm a combat list, but I'm not going to take a step towards you. Because you have double Stone Thrower and Thom, and that's good enough. Yeah. If I leave my deployment zone, it'll be a cool game, but I don't think I'm leaving my deployment zone.
I was thinking, like, if you ran into, like, a shooting list that was particularly heavy in, like, splash weapons, like catapults or flamethrowers, like a double flamethrower list might be pretty scary, but still...
You
play defensive, and they're gonna get shot down before they get to you.
I'm not even sure it is, because you have Cone of, it's not Cone of Cold, Chilling Howl?
Yeah,
Is it
Chilling Howl.
Chilling Howl these
Yep.
days?
Yep.
Chilling Howl, Cloak of Cinders, and Comet. And your magic phase is just 3 spells, maybe +1 resilience. And you're like, all right, either I don't take the shooting damage, or I'm dropping a Comet on the shooting. These are your choices. So I don't really fear shooting lists with this, but it's if a list can do 2 things. If a list can get around you and still pressure your attention, I swear, that's rough. But also this list, I don't think, as someone playing this list does not get 20s. This list like caps at like 15s.
That's true. Yeah.
I can see that.
And also, as a player, I don't play for 20s. So
Interesting. Yeah, I mean you're right. There's this list does seem hard to get a 20. Is it? I don't know. Is that true or not? I mean, like if you end up the right matchup, you can just march forward at someone.
yeah, but I don't think that exists in this game anymore. I think when this game was younger, and maybe at just a random tournament, that might be true. But this is Masters, and this is in the like twilight years of Ninth Age. Everyone knows these days, right? So I'm not sure that's true anymore.
Yeah, it might be true. Let's see here. We're moving on. Oh, Darrell Rigsby with his dwarves again.
Can I just say one thing that I find hilarious? Most of the California meta could simply just not leave our backyard and have about the same odds of playing someone from our club. Because I believe our club has 9 people in this tournament. And it's like, might just go 5 for 5 playing people I could play with on any given weekend in my backyard.
The Sacramento crew definitely travels the best out of any community, Ninth Age community in the United States. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, we've got Josh. Like, he makes up the numbers. Even if he doesn't make up the bodies, he makes up the numbers.
I know. I've seen him twice this year, Buckeye and Canada.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Exactly, and Toledo. 3 times.
Oh, I'm just reading Darrell's list. This is classic. Classic.
All right.
Rigsby.
Okay. King, War Throne, Rune Destruction, 2 Runes of Might, Runes of Shielding, Thane BSB with Iron, Steel, and Great Weapon, 2 Runic Smiths, Rune of Denial, 3 Battle Runes. The other one has Devouring, Harnessing, Battle Runes. 30 Greybeards with Great Weapons, Banner Speed. Ugh. 3 times 10 Clan Warriors with Great Weapons. He likes those little Great Weapon sticks. 2 times 6 Hold Guardians. Disgusting. And then 28 Deep Watch. $44.99.
Use the Clan Warriors to stick it to them.
I find it funny. I've been playing some version of this game for 16 years now, and still reading what a rune is on paper. I have no idea. The dwarf player will tell me when it matters. It's been 16 years. I'm still not knowing it. Like,
That's a strength 6 dwarf with D3 wounds.
Yeah, the destruction's the D3 wounds, and then Rune of Denial is.
That's the old. It's not the mining scroll. It's the one that's the old dispel scroll.
The dispel scroll.
Wait, who is talking? Who is talking? Who is talking to me right now? Is it Mark, Sir MC Mark?
It is.
Hey, welcome to the list review.
Thank you. Sorry, family first.
No worries, you're good. Yeah.
Save
that's Denial, and then Devourings eat the spell.
Yep.
And then Harnessing is I don't remember what Harnessing is.
No channel with 24 inches.
So it eats a channel.
it's all magic denial, and then blocks, 4 blocks basically, and then 3 sticks running around.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, Rune of Harnessing sounds a little like, it's a little BSDM in there, kind of worked in. I'm not sure that's kosher.
BDSM
No,
or
that's only if
BSDM?
it's on a. That's only if it's on a Slayer. If it's on a Slayer and it's Rune of Harnessing, that's something very different than being on a Runesmith.
Yeah, but you can't put it on a Seeker.
Oh, it's a different Rune of Harnessing that goes on a Seeker. I got news for you. It's got a red rubber ball, and he is there for a long time and a good time.
Booty traps, that's what I said.
It must be squealing.
The Ninth Age community in Sacramento gets down in a different way, evidently, but okay.
All right.
Well, that deep wash is just going to be an immovable brick. It's probably going to get that king stuck in there, and I see that all characters just going in there. And the Greybeard, that's just a lot of great weapon attacks.
It's the typical dwarf, all the characters in one unit that you're never gonna break ever in your entire life, and I feel this is traditional dwarf stuff, right? He's never gonna win a game big, but he's never gonna lose a game big.
Well, he'll win the game big if you try to go up against that one movable brick.
Yeah, but this is Masters. No one's gonna do that. No one's gonna do that.
The secret of
world, moth to a flame.
the secret of Darrell is he views every wargame as a zero-sum fun game. So every point of fun he takes away from you is a point of fun in his pile at the end of the game, and that pretty much makes up the difference between the 14-6 and the 20-0. Like, it's a 14-6 on paper, but it's a 20-0 on the fun points. Like, you end up on 0 at the end. So
The wash every time. All right, and one of the sticks has Vanguard. Yeah.
And you can do that with both Whole Guardian units too, because they're a little Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
The only thing I would have added into is the Rune of Grounding. You put that on the Deep Watch unit, and then you really can't go into it.
What's grounding?
Yeah.
Grounding, basically, if the Runesmith is touching a unit and pops that grounding, it turns off all magic spells on the unit that's touching.
Yeah. It's the debuff spell. Yeah.
It just wipes everything clean.
Does he still have that thing where it's like you can't channel within 24 inches of, the board or something?
Yeah, that's the harnessing.
Yeah.
I think the reason we don't have grounding is actually a lot of the times the Runesmiths aren't actually in base contact. They're hanging out in the second rank.
Oh yeah.
Because of the lineup there. But yeah, it's a classic Darrell list. He's been playing variations of this list for 4 years.
Pinch hitting for Runesmith number 2.
So I think I'm gonna ask this of every list we see. What kind of list beats this one? And I'm hard pressed to think of one that would.
There's a lot.
There's a
really?
Yeah.
I think if you can walk around it.
Honestly, the Whole Guardians need to be dealt with. The Deep Watch need to be ignored. The Greybeards can be beaten because they're great weapon. There's great weapons, so they don't have parry unless you're going to put in the king in there. In which case, then he's not going in the Deep Watch, which means that you could go into them, but it's going to be it's still going to be movable bricked. And the 10 Clans Warriors with great weapons, no, they just they'll die to a stiff breeze. I see a unit of 10 Witch Elves or Temple Militants, whatever they're called now. They would slice through them like butter.
And,
it's about easy points and taking secondary.
Yeah. This list doesn't do well with lateral movement very well. A lot of times I can see people kind of separating the Hold Guardians from the main units. So
Single model armies.
Yep. I don't know about single model, but because you still got to deal with the Hold Guardian with some punch. But you can definitely separate this army if he gets too careless, and then that's when he really gets in trouble. He should never ever deploy in a straight line across the board. He should come out in his shell and make sure every avenue is covered.
I
Go ahead.
I think one of the most important things to understand about playing against this style of dwarf list is if you are a list that relies on your magic phase to do anything, play for a draw. If you're a list that your magic phase supplements your army, then you're allowed to like play a proactive game. So if magic is just a bonus for you, this list is not as bad. If magic is the only way you win fights, this list is actual nightmare fuel.
I would tend to agree with you, but like I'll think about my UD list that I've been running with double Necroguard and double Master.
Yeah.
I would murder this list.
Yeah, but you don't rely on magic.
Double Master has enough.
Yes, I do. My UD relies on magic majorly.
Yeah, but Double Master is built-in redundancy, right? Like the devouring scroll is not going to just completely kneecap you down to one copy of a spell. Because Double Master for UD is typically you have 3 versions of the exact same spell or close enough. But like playing Druidism and you all of a sudden you're down to 1 heal.
Yeah.
That's a rough magic phase.
I think I met Darrell at Sen. He's a nice guy, and I think we played.
I don't know about nice guy.
Yeah, I don't know if I could say nice guy, but
as someone he's a member of his club, I would not use Darrell nice guy unless there's a few words between those two.
All right. Let's move on.
Speaking of nice guys.
Oh, here we go. The Admiral, Mr. Micah Pierce.
I can go through this list if you want.
Go for it, yeah.
With the orcs, you can go through this list? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I could probably recite this list with my eyes closed in my sleep because I've played against it so often. So High Prince, General, Ancient Dragon, Great Weapon Super Dex, Crown of the Wizard King, Obsidian Rock, Wizard Adept, Reaver Chariot, Cosmo, Lightning Vambraces, 10 Highborn Lancers, Banner of Discipline, 6 Lancers, 10 Reavers, 6 Reavers, 2 12-packs of Knights of Rima, 1 with Stalkers, 1 with Discipline, Initiated the Fiery Heart, 2 Reaver Chariots, 1 Reaver Chariot, and 2 Solo Eagles.
First of all, let me say, as you said, he's played this list a lot. He's really good. He's a really good player, and he's really good with this list. I just love this list because it's not fluffy is the wrong word, but it's themey, and I love a themey list. It's all cav and ridden monsters.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
old school High Elf, Calidor, Dragon Riders, Dragon Knights, that whole thing.
Calgon, take me away.
All right, so tell me, how does this list work? What does he do?
This list works by just having longer arms than you.
He just zones.
And
Is that
being proactive in the movement phase?
Mm.
Like move 9 Elf Cav is the kind of thing where you like even when you've played this game for a long time and you look at the table and you're like, yeah, that should be far enough away. You're probably an inch off of where it's far enough away. Because it's like, oh yeah, I'll have that charge, and you measure it out and you're like, oh, it's 18, and then you're like, wait, 18 on move 9. And you're like, well, all right, come on in, I guess. And it's one of those magic faces that's so cheap, so efficient, but it's channel 4. Just out of the gate.
4.
It might be
fiery.
channel 3. Because Dragons channel innately. It might be channel 3 these days rather than
Dragons
channel 4.
2.
It's only 2. I only see 2.
No, he's got
No,
the general on the Ancient Dragon is 2 because the Ancient Dragon gets the channel now.
Oh,
Right?
does it now?
I see 3.
That's the
And then Fiery Heart, and then
the racial trait for the Highborn Dragon is channel.
Interesting.
But the Fiery Heart only channels 1, I
Yeah.
believe. They
Yeah,
downgraded that.
They downgraded him.
So it's still
channel 3, but it's still picking up an extra dice.
And it's channel plenty.
Yeah.
This list reminds me of actually just a softer KOE list, just with a dragon.
But the
Like
dragon,
I just see like 1, 2, 3 lances. I see 2 fast cav chaff. I see a flying dragon, a couple chariots. It's just a variation of KOE that just strikes longer.
yeah,
He doesn't have
but
hardly any shooting.
yeah, having the flyers is the true strength of the list. Like the amount of just incidental charges that get paid off on having double flying, a dragon and a mini dragon, and Eagles still being 918 on their fly move is like Eagles are one of those legacy units that they're no longer 1020, but 918 is.
They're one of the few things in the game that can have it still.
Yeah.
I think actually High Elves is, besides Wood Elves, there are only 2 armies that have 918 anymore.
Demons still have 918.
Yeah, Furies are still randomly
Yeah,
918.
And Beast Herds chaff are
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles, yep. One of the few, like I said, very few
Yeah,
left in the game.
all the legacy ones, all the. But
Right.
no, this list is rock solid, and it's also something he's been playing off and on since 8th edition. So
Yeah, and by the way, also his models for this list are freaking phenomenal. Okay.
I can't believe how many 4,500 points we're seeing. Like every single one of them is 4,500. Darrell's 4,499.
yeah, it's the mark of it. What really separates a master from someone who just made it into masters? You know what I'm saying? Like that one point of efficiency is.
wow.
Hyper efficiency.
They make a point of it.
All right,
Well, I
so
think I'm
what-
like 4 points off. Now I feel I feel very inadequate.
So who? What kind of list beats this list?
Ranks. Things that would stubborn like that dwarf list. Beats this.
I think this rolls up to that Warriors list that we talked about earlier, where players beat this list. I don't think lists beat this list. So if a player understands what threat ranges are being presented to them and what they can do about those threat ranges, they're going to have a lot tighter game against this style of list. If he starts dictating the flow of the game where you can and can't go from the beginning, it's pretty hard to stack a list up in your favor, even if you have no control over your own movement phase.
I think even like previous lists, I just kept what we looked through. To be honest, but Barn, I mean, yeah, he has a 3-up Aegis, but I think Shummer's ID list gives this list a lot of problems. Because he's gonna hit with one of those Ryman Knights, and he's gonna do some damage, and then the ID just grinds down all those units to the ground.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's one of the few matchups you don't want to pop your flaming banners. But but yeah, that the Tark unit especially is something that's, if played correctly, is very strong into this list.
I agree.
I also think KOE is a matchup that is a game of who's willing to pull the trigger, and if the KOE player understands that Eagles are the only thing that matters, KOE matches up fairly well. But if you can't clear those Eagles for KOE, you can't win the game.
It's got 4 pieces of chaff. You have to take out all 4 pieces.
Yeah, but Eagles are beyond chaff. They're super chaff because they are smaller than the dragon and they can fly over it. Whereas the Reavers, you can at least kind of figure out where they're supposed to go.
Yeah, Eagles, you just go anywhere. Yeah. It's true. It's true.
We've got another Sacramento Club member after this, which is pretty funny.
Let's see who it is. Zach Brooks.
Zach Brooks.
The 4,500 point list.
Another 4,500 ONG list. Okay, we got a Warlord General on a Grunter. Omen of the Apocalypse.
I hardly know her. That was a Josh joke. I'm sorry. That was a Josh joke.
What are you doing? That's Josh's job. Josh says the bad jokes. Come on. Shaman on a Grunter, Adept Shamanism, Magical Heirloom, Witch Doctor on a Beastie, Adept Witchcraft, Rod of Battle, 46 Ferals with a Big Boss pole, 6 Veteran Marauders, 6 Veteran Marauders, 8 Goblin Reavers, 15 Veteran Orc Mercenary Ed Bashers, 2x2 Iron Orc Chariots, interesting, both with a champion. And then 3 Giants, 2 with Beloved Mascots, and 1 with the Giant Club, and then 10 Nashers.
Those Iron Orc Chariots put out so many attacks.
They're
And they're really giving that Grunter that the Orc Shaman's riding a hard time. And they're Shaman on you. Criticizing it left and right.
What have I done? What have I done? This is a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here.
Are those chariots still stubborn, or they changed that?
They're not stubborn.
They're
They're
not
just
stubborn.
disgusted.
Yeah. Do they
They're
need to be
so
stubborn?
They're so good.
Do they win combats?
Yeah, for
They-
only
they-
for only 400 points for 2 of them, one of which is a champion.
Yeah,
So
they're rock solid.
They're a 3-up armor, toughness 5. They get extra attacks if other orcs are in combat.
Something stupid like 12 or 14 strength 6 attacks or something.
Yes,
insane.
it's a because each guy up top gets an extra attack.
Yeah,
So there's
Yeah.
2 riders. So yeah,
it multiplies every
No,
piece of the model. Yeah.
yeah, they're
He's got
very
nothing to do.
solid.
There's somebody fighting.
And the
Yeah.
Beloved Mascot gives other orcs reroll to hit when it's in the same combat.
Yeah, it's it is prolonged hatred or like delayed hatred. So when the Beloved Mascot is in combat, the first round of combat for other units is hatred.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't the Beloved Mascot also count as an Orc unit in combat as well?
No, but the Giants do. Period. End of statement.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the Giants also have that effect.
So it does.
Hey, man,
Yeah, those- I think those are- I think
one
the-
other unit, the book that has
I'm
Beloved
not saying I'm
Mascot.
right, you're just saying I'm not wrong. I got you.
I think that giant with the Beloved Mascot is such a fun, cool unit. When you're running an orc
I love
list.
OG Giants. They're so good. OG Giants are so good.
I like that we
I-
cleaned out his list too. That Porkazor, really, really clever.
And also just like I want to actually give a shout out to Zach. This is his first like full tournament year,
Oh, cool.
and he
Awesome.
like gets back into the game after leaving in the end of 8th. First full tournament year, qualifies for Masters, goes through the whole thing. Like he's putting in the real work. And he's got like a fully themed pig
Oh,
Orcs and
yeah.
Goblins army.
I saw that in I think Silicon
Silicon
Hammer
Hammer.
last year. Yeah.
And good a match.
Well, sick.
The true tragedy is he doesn't have his trolls, which are just like these very large pigmen.
Yeah, and that Orc Warlord hits hard. He hits real hard with the Omen of the Apocalypse.
Yeah, and the whole army being mounted really takes advantage of what Warcry does for orcs.
Yeah.
The extra move and the extra maximize means the Warcry turn is pretty scary.
Shoot, 46 feral orcs. That's a lot of bodies in that unit. And the big boss pole is the BSB, right? No.
So it is a BSB. It's a 3-inch BSB though, because they are not head bashers. So it's just an extra little BSB.
But he doesn't have a regular BSB, so that's just his only BSB.
No, the other unit is head bashers, I believe. Yeah, the veteran Orc Marauders are head bashers, which is the BSB upgrade.
There it is. Okay, gotcha.
And not only that, but it count. Don't they both count as extra banner for combat res? Or at least one of them does. I think the the Ed Bashers do.
Yeah, the Ed Bashers have two banners for purposes of combat res. I mean, not that they're going to need it. They're either going to all die or they're going to be winning by enough. But yeah, they've got that extra +1.
So my one question is, of course, what kind of list beats this one? And I was thinking, like, man, he only has one big unit.
This list is not like Small Arms Fire. It does not like magic missiles. It doesn't like medium to light shooting. And it doesn't like if you're an elf holding a spear.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
That's just a super rough time for you.
Well, unless you throw a giant or two into it, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what it struggles with. It is a list that I think at its core is written to prey on warriors, written to play on combat armies.
Mm-hmm.
But the armies that are like a bit more like flighty, a bit more shooty, and can just kind of knick-knack you with spells, like units of 15 Orc Marauders do not like even just Hand to Heaven.
Yeah.
Let alone like a real magic missile. So I think that's what this list kind of falls down a little bit. But that's what you got Warcry for, right? They have one turn to do it in theory, and then you should be down their throat.
So, King, to answer your question, when I look at this list, and please don't get me wrong, I like the list. I think it's a fun list to play against. I see it runs into the general issue with Orcs and Goblins is if your opponent's able to stick for that one round, then they lose some of those. Then it all goes to AP0. So it's something that's going to have a bunch of armor, such as maybe warriors, anything that's got a lot of 2+ running around may be able to give this fits. Although those two units of chariots are still bears. Mm-hmm. Of course, you always have the omen.
And only the ferals are AP0 in the second round. Everyone else keeps
AP1.
Yeah, AP1 if you're the Iron Orcs, you're AP2 base plus whatever weapon you're swinging with.
Yeah.
And you have shamanism. But yeah, ferals are one of those units that are a lot scarier on paper than.
Why did you bring so many of them then?
Because it's the models I got, bro.
All right, fair enough.
Like you could probably.
Okay, interesting list. I love the triple giant though, but okay, let's move on.
Yeah. A non-Sacramento player.
Matt Reich.
Dryland is not a myth.
Ooh, Saurian Ancients. I love it. Skink Veteran on a Taurosaur, BSB, Kingslayer on a Halberd, and the Smokestone. Wow, that's a crazy model that's a crazy combo I have not seen.
I have not seen it.
You know what I actually really like about, before we go any further, what I really like about him having Kingslayer, it really fits the army theme of no kings, no gods.
Yes.
When the one magic weapon you have is the Kingslayer.
That's actually very, very fitting. I like that a lot.
He's been busy.
18 Tegu with spears with 2 Cayman Mentors with the champion upgrade. 30 Inkskinks Warrior with shield. 3 Caymans with the wizard upgrade and Legion standard. Another 36 warriors with shields, 3 memorable, same thing with Legion standard. What am I missing? Oh, that one, the first one had champion. Then 3 Thyroscutus with the Suncatcher crystal. That changed now. That's the grind.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting.
It's the grind attack, and the unit gives an additional combat res. 2 units of 8 Raptor Riders with light lances. 2 weapon beats, 2 salamanders, a Titanos pod with the Lodestone shield, which is the 5+ Aegis bubble, and then 3 Stygiosaurs with the wizard upgrade. That's an interesting
You
list.
can delete a Titanos if you really, really try, but with a Lodestone, nope, don't charge your cabin that. You're going to be sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I think the most interesting thing is actually that we couldn't find room for Banner of Disciplines.
Anywhere. This leadership is the biggest problem with this list.
Yeah.
Because, like, the Tegu, the Stygisaur, even the Raptor, right? Like, I find it really hard to believe that we couldn't find 75 points.
The Tegu are 18 now. They're legal.
Yeah, but one pen test, like one terror test, that just gets botched, or something fleeing through you that gets botched. Like, why not just have, like, you own a car, invest in car insurance. Like, I get it. I get you don't want to pay for it up front, but when your Salamander pack flees through your Stygisaurs and your Tegu, and you brick both those tests, you're going to be like, man, I could have spent 50 points and not had this problem. But
Wait, what's the 50 points?
2 Banner of Disciplines.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, he's only leadership 7 across the board.
Yeah, it's 7 cold-blooded rerollable because it's the big bubble reroll.
Wait, why is it rerollable?
Because the BSB is right there.
Yeah.
That
The skink veteran on the Taurosaur with Monument of Vitalism is he's a big
Vitalism.
BSB.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. I did not see Vitalism. I thought Vitalism was one of the other ones. Okay, so we've got a big BSB.
Yeah, it's a very big BSB, but
There's still that monolith at the drugstore.
God.
You have low Titanopod. You have low T, right?
You invited him, Kenyon. Oh,
As the pharmacist on that call, even I couldn't laugh at that.
You could have laughed. You chose not to.
Hey, Josh, do you think they'd sell you ground up Taurosaur horn? Or do you have to buy that, like, not in an actual pharmacy for low T?
That's an all natural pharmacy.
That's the kind of stuff you buy at the register at a gas station in the middle of nowhere.
Ah,
Exactly.
Texas. We're talking about Texas.
Alien bones.
You're the lizard player, Kenyon. Like, what do you think? Because, like, I have a really hard time judging the lizard book because the changes were so fast and heavy for a minute, and I just kind of stopped respecting the design team for the book, so I stopped paying attention.
It's just this is a little bit of everything. It's 2 big blocks with great static combat res.
3.
Yeah, 3 basically. And then 2 monsters that are good in certain situations, and then 2 hard-hitting Raptor Rider units that are, and the Stygisaur pack. And you know what? And they did change the Thyroscutus that it has stubborn now again.
They are stubborn, but only with 4 wounds, though.
Only with 4 wounds, 2 up armor save, but it is stubborn.
Like, this guy does not want to see alchemy at all.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, someone across the board with alchemy just pulls off models.
They were trying to figure out what to do with the Thyroscutus unit. They were just kind of throwing it out there. See if it would.
It's 5 or 6 spells, Kenyon.
Rod of Battle, Oakstone. So you got 1 from the Tegu Warriors, 1 from the Skinks, and 1 from the Stygisaur.
4. No, he's got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, the Stygisaur's only 1? I thought it was 2.
Yeah, the Stygisaur's only 1. Where's the 4th?
He's got 1 in Skink, 1 in the Tegu, and he's got the Rod of Battle, and the Stinks for 4.
Oh, he's got the Rod of Battle. That's right. Yeah, there you go. So very light magic phase, but
yeah, 4 spells is a little light for me. But
doesn't channel at all.
It channels 0. Yeah.
This is completely different than what I brought to Masters last year as SA.
Well, back when you brought it, the list was very different, or the book was very different.
I do like the weapon beasts, the salamanders, but he has nothing to like enhance them. They're like, typically when you have salamanders, you have alchemy with it to make them even more scary in combat. The Raptor Riders are just a scoring on the outside. I don't know what purpose they are there for. The same purpose as the Stygisaur. Like the gentleman's list before us, like the guy with the Orcs and Goblins with the 3 giants, scares this list off the board. because none of them have banner discipline. Those Stegosaurs are probably 7 one-time out on the flank.
Yeah.
And if they're being covered by the BSB, that means the other side of the board's not covered. The great big thing is the Titanopod. People either have an answer for the Titanopod or they have zero answer for a Titanopod.
And if they had one, they better get through, Fortitude.
Yeah. I mean, that Titanopod is an issue for a lot of armies.
Titanopod's so much fun. What is his thought process around the Smokestone?
If you charge me, you're not going to charge me, and then I'll charge you.
Because the Smokestone
Clout.
is you activate it one time when you flee, and everyone within 18 inches is minimized charge range for a turn.
So you flee, but everybody else who can charge doesn't?
I think it's
it's
charge and pursue. So like he's gonna charge the Taurosaur in, lose combat even though he's re-rolling his leadership, and then flee and then pop the. I don't know.
I think it's because since it's your BSB and has already 600 points of lone model, if it's mispositioned at all, you need like a surefire. Oh shit! I need to flee.
Pretty sure it's fearless.
Is it fearless?
No, but it's when you break from combat. You can only hit the Smokestone when you break from combat. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
No, it's flee as well.
It's not
to be
fleeing
honest-
from a charge. It's breaking from combat.
To be honest, that needs to be the one that gives you thunderstomps to impact hits. That's what it should have been.
It should have been the Stampede Resonator Crystal.
Yeah.
I think it's more for form clout at the end of the day. Like, I took the Smokestone. It's not a useless item in the book. It should definitely stay in the book. I don't know what everyone else is talking
It's
about.
the first time I've ever seen it in the list ever.
You
Let's
see
just
it
also
with,
do-
but you see it with skink clouds, and this is not a skink cloud.
Yeah.
No, clout, not cloud. Clout. Internet
But it's-
clout.
It's just so tricky. Like, you have to charge into combat, then you have to lose combat without dying, and then
So, Kenyon, are you trying to understand what this man is smoking? Homie smoking stone, Kenyon. We went over
I don't
this.
know.
It's like,
I give up.
Wait, this says, hold on, this says this may be activated when a friendly unit fails a break test. So this one doesn't need to fail the break test. A friendly unit fails the break test.
What's the range on that?
oh,
18 inches. In which case, until the start of the next friendly movement phase, enemy units within 18 inches of the bearer gains minimized. So
The bear. Interesting.
so is it for
So
the
anybody flees and
inches?
centers on the
So you want them to flee on. I want to lose combat on my turn, so that when it's your turn,
You're all minimized to
you
charges.
don't get to use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I charge in and so that would still be my turn. But if you charge me and then I use it, no, because my next movement phase happens, and so it does me no good.
Yeah,
It's weird. It's weird.
I think we've discovered live on the air again that the Smokestone is bad. You can
Matt,
probably go back
I'm
to
sure-
when Kenyon and I reviewed this book,
Yeah.
and we were like, "Man, this seems bad." And now, a year and a half later, almost 2 years, still like, "Nope, never got there."
Matt's in the chat. He's trying to tell him what. It's any friendly unit fleeing, not the holder. Okay, yeah, he's pointing out exactly what Mark just said. All right, well, I don't know.
I mean,
Matt,
it's interesting.
I don't think it's bad at all. It's
in my view, it's the way you use it. Like, Matt, tell me if I'm guessing this incorrectly, but it's like you throw a unit out there, like you see like some profitable charge in that you know you're going to lose but not win the game. You throw it out there, you do some damage and maybe snipe something, or maybe you lose combat, and it flees. You pop this. Everyone wants to pursue you the next turn, that they can't because it's minimized charges, and then the turn after that is when you re counter strike. I don't know. That's my thought process. It's like a 3-step process, but I don't know. Matt, tell me how it goes.
Yeah, I'm just going through the spell selection. He has literally Awaken the Beast. He's got Entwining Roots. He's got Rod of Battle. He's got a choice between Savage Fury and
Swarm, yeah.
Swarm of Mystics. I mean, Magic's pretty light, if non-existent. I mean, Leadership 7 across the board. Those Skink units and Mentors, I mean, they're good for static res, but they're not going to grind anything out.
No, they're definitely an anvil that can take a charge and then you counter. That's what they're there for. And they're an anvil that's fast moving too. They're 6'12".
Yeah. I'd be very curious to see how this goes.
Yeah, Matt, do your thing. Win some games. Do the Saurian Ancients proud. Let's move on. Jeff Durham.
Oh, man.
Oh, Jeff, we all know is a fantastic player. He's been playing Vampire Covenant a lot recently. And let's see what he brought. So he's got a Count on a Steed, Occultism, Adept, Magical Heirloom, Crown of Autocracy, Sangreal, Crimson Rage. I don't know what any of those do. A Courtier, who's his general, Shamanism, Adept, Cleansing Light, Lich, Mysteries of the Night, Barrow King on BSB on a Steed, Hero's Heart, Talisman of Shielding, Big Block of Ghouls, Bat Swarms, Zombies, 2x8 Dire Wolves with Champions, of course, because you never take a Dire Wolf without a champ, 30 Barrow Guard, 10 Barrow Knights, 5 Spectral Hunters, 5 Vampire Knights.
Sangreal Crimson Rage is Blood Dragon Red Fury.
Mm-hmm.
So exploding attacks.
It makes old wine taste better.
Okay, and then what is Lich Mysteries of the Night?
Nosferatu.
Wizard Master.
Okay. So
that made me laugh.
Mysteries is the being able to take the other voice.
Yeah.
So he's just an addict.
Cosmo Shaman Witchcraft.
Yep.
So this actually the game 5 of Forest City Fracas, I played Jeff in I pretty much very close to this list, and he beat me.
The
basically
last year and a half
has
been the rise of the last year and a half. And this is pun probably intended, has been the rise of the VC book. Like, removing the bloodline restrictions from the book, I think could be argued to be the biggest mistake they've ever done with the book, but it's probably the biggest boon for the book as well. Because the bloodline restrictions were there for a reason, but now that they're gone, this book's just truly incredible.
I don't know. The interwebs tell me VC is underpowered. I see all over in our chat forums. VC's underpowered.
Yeah, VC has a lot of very active people on the forums.
Yes, they do.
We invested in lobbyists a long time ago, and it's all paying off now.
Looks like they won't die.
Oh
my God.
So yeah, that vampire count with True Thirst he puts them in the Barrow Knights.
Yep.
Is really good.
He's a problem for a lot of people.
I mean, that's like, I remember I shot down that unit at least 2 times, but it raises itself, and then in combat it vampiric rolls itself. Like a lot.
And he can just solo things by himself, more or
Yeah.
less. Because at the end of the day, like, since like 5th edition, the Vampire Lord is the combat character, and he's waxed and waned, but he's still got the pedigree, and Crimson Rage is the real deal.
Is he waxed? Is he that self-conscious? Or
Yeah, well, it depends on the bloodline. Like, some are smooth and some definitely aren't.
He's not playing Lamia. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, or Strigoi. So he's he's European wax. He's not like LA wax, but he's not a mountain man either.
Right.
Oh my god.
God,
Where?
didn't you miss this, Kenyon? Didn't you
Where-
miss?
What have I done? What have I done? Yeah, this is a good list.
But-
Great player.
It's almost like you have him over a barrel.
Oh.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that one. But
What-
also, it's such a great Magic phase for the points you've actually invested in it
Yeah.
because of the Spectral Hunter champion. Just 285 points for a wizard adept that gets that choice of spells, has 6 wounds with a 3-up Aegis, is light cab that causes terror. Like, every book would jump at that, right? If that was in a character slot. And for
Yeah.
some reason, it just gets to come out of something that's not characters.
It's pretty good. I've in all of the recent VC lists I've seen, they have the Spectral Hunters champion.
Oh, and also it has 10 attacks at AP 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Strength 5 AP 10, because why not?
The book
Yeah.
needs a lot of help. It's definitely underpowered.
Yep. Yeah. And for some reason, Dire Wolves, the champions, are still in core. Hashtag best core in the game.
All right.
No.
Next question.
Great.
What beats this?
Someone dropping from the tournament, us being out of nod member, and Jeff having to drop. Fine.
Maddox's list goes to work on this list.
Yeah.
Maddox's
Oh,
list.
the double. The double.
Sister.
The Alchemy Master Ancestor.
Yeah.
The Ancestor one that is badass as that Vampire Countess. He wants nothing to do with an Ancestor.
Yeah. Also, I like Micah's list into this.
Yep.
That big dragon. This is just a playground for him. The only
Yeah.
thing he has to really worry about is the champ lock, and Micah plays vampires. The champ lock is something you know about, you learn about, and then you avoid. But
point.
But just a very good solo player. I mean,
yeah. Like at the end of the day, talking about the list in a vacuum and not considering who's piloting it. Yeah. Like I think a lot of these lists, the counters exist and the counters are there, but the pilot for this tournament in particular matters as much as the list does. And Jeff knows what he's doing, and he's not going to overextend that vampire bus.
Yeah, he's been playing this list for at least 4 months now.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you want to make your game easy, try to get him drunk, and that'd be about it. If not, he knows exactly what he's doing with this list, and he knows enough about the game and the other armies. He'll do well. He'll do well. You have to play
Yeah.
smart.
Jeff is a scary
So we get to
player.
the-
Like, yeah.
When you get to the airport, invest in a cooler, hit the store, stock up on spirits and mixers, lots of ice, some serving retainers, and you're good to go.
Actually, this true secret is there a football game going on during Masters that Jeff is
No,
in
no,
case
no.
invested
There's
in?
Masters is Pro Bowl
Pro
weekend,
Bowl
so
weekend.
no one cares.
And the Seahawks are out of it, so they don't matter. They're worthless.
Yeah,
so.
if the
Because-
Seahawks are playing, you have a chance
Because
during your
I
game.
believe one of my games I've played against Jeff, I might have been my first game ever. I got him to agree on a handshake score just because there was a game on, and I was like, hey man, clearly you want to watch the game rather than play our game. You want to just shake on a score.
And, he
And
took
I
it.
believe he
Wow.
was playing dwarves with double cannon, and I was playing double dragon. And I was like, I will take the 10-10 every day of the week. And
All right.
he got to
Another
watch his
problem-
game, and I got to drink some beers in Portland. It was great.
All right, Jeff. Jeff is gonna do well. I don't need to give him any encouragement. Sir MC. Would you like to go? Would you like to go over your list?
No, sure. So I've got a paladin on a face steed, so with a great weapon moral reminder. So he'll be a 2-up, 4-up, 2-up armor. If you hit him with a multi-wound, he ignores it the first time. He's MR1, and if you target him with a spell, even a attribute, I gain a Veil token. I've got the Master on a Unicorn of Druidism. And then I've got my flying Div Heraldic Steed and my BSB. My BSB has a 1-up armor save when in a unit. And it does break magic weapons. It has a punish swiftness. It is, if it issues a challenge, a character must accept unless a champion accepts first. It has lethal strike and multi-wounds 2 in a duel. 11 Knights of the Realm with a rerollable charge, 1 use only, and it has rerollable discipline checks, but if my BSB's in that unit, it gives my BSB's bubble plus 6 inches, so an 18-inch bubble. I've got sword and board levies. I've got 6 hedge knights. So they're light troops. They have light lances or paired weapons. I've got 10 archers because I had points. And I've got 8 Knights of the Quest with my hereditary spell Bound and MR1. And I've got my Lady Courtier, which is only ground movement because it's a caster. So it counts as an adept, and it's advanced 6, March 12. I've got the Fey Knight, which does have the special ambush and is stubborn and has a 4-up Aegis in combat. And the Friar's Lantern is only hard target 1 now, no longer hard target 2. It has a 5-up Aegis and is discipline 7 now, which is one of the other changes to it recently. That's my entire list.
So does the Paladin lose a pip of Aegis if it's a magical attack?
No. No, it's instead of gaining Aegis for magical attacks, it just is always a 4-up all the time.
And the Standard Bearer in the Knight's Realm unit, you're saying a Lady Favor gives you an extra 6 inches? Well played, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is like a little bit of everything from the... it's a knight list. Everything's strong. You have... it's a face steed. Yeah, I mean, you got the druidism. Divination's always fun.
I've got enough. So the face steed is also supernal.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't break. So I've got 3 supernal models, or 4 supernal models in this army.
Yeah, I feel like your game is gonna be setting up charges for your knight sticks, basically.
I have to break the rank somehow.
Yeah.
And the Paladin is sainted, so he's +1 to hit, +1 attack. He's already offensive, defensive 7.
Yeah, so he's pretty good. So he does good things.
He's fluffy.
2 questions. Have you gotten many practice games with this list yet?
Not as many as what I would want. I'm sure Andrew's over there saying that as well. But again, it's close enough to the variant of an army I've been playing for a while now. So.
Okay. And then the last question is, what beats this list?
I'm not answering that.
Andrew, tell me what beats this list.
Well, it's KOE, so we'll go with that. I mean, not much beats KOE nowadays, but no. Someone that understands KOE beats this list. Like, if someone just runs up and they have a semblance of how to beat KOE, they're going to lose. You really need to know how KOE works and what tricks they're going to do with magic. You need to understand when to stop their token generation.
Yeah.
Because if you can control that early, it hampers them later. And at the end of the day, you just gotta hope they roll bad on armor or ward saves.
Run right into him and fight. Hulk smash.
Yeah, I mean, KOE is a very, very strong army.
I also like Jorge's list into this.
Yeah.
Jorge has some. Jorge has tools. Like Mark doesn't want to do with that big pistol block, spear block. Alchemy, but Mark's MR is a nuisance, and it really protects him from heavy magic. And getting veil tokens from where's it at? The cup, or chalice, really helps Mark.
Is ID problematic for this list?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I've played this match with Mark a few times. There are tools that ID has that can definitely win. The problem with KOE into ID is if KOE cannot break, they will not grind ID down. The characters in KOE are far stronger than what ID has. So that Paladin is going to be a problem. The Duke is definitely a problem. The Courtier can be a problem. That Green Knight is definitely a problem for a lot of armies. Doesn't matter what army it is. The Green Knight is so good for what its point cost is. It's stubborn, strength 6. With Druidism, heals back 2 wounds. And the best chaff piece in the game, the Fire's Lantern, is definitely a problem for people if they can't get rid of it. KOE's a very good book, and Mark plays it very well. So.
Green Knight riding a steed named Tina. Very nice.
Just for that, I'll have to make a little banner that says Tina around the horse's neck.
Just saying.
But like with any KOE, fighting any KOE, if they're making armor saves and then ward saves on top of it, it's gonna be a long game for you.
Yeah, it's true. It's like demons if they're making their Aegis saves.
Yep.
Yeah, then it's a tough game. All right, Mark. I wish you luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see here. Pablo, Pobby. Running the Highborn Elves now. Got a general on a grip.
List.
Another perfect list. He's got a Nova Flare Prince on a Griffin. He's got Mage Master on Alchemy, Mage Adept on Pyro, Commander on what is he on? He's on a horse. Oh, he's a Dragon Forged armor with Lance Queen's Cavalier, Cleansing Light, 15 Sea Guard, 3 times 15 Archers, Reavers, Double Fire Phoenix, 5 Knights of Rima, Triple Reaper. And he just loves his shooting list, his gun line list, and this is another one.
Yep.
I think people have seen this variant of the High Elf list enough times that they're actually getting familiar with it. Like Double Phoenix, Triple Reaper. It's, there's a lot of those out there where you can't get to the core, you can't kill things. What he has that wants to fight you, fights you, and otherwise it just shoots. I mean, it's a very common build these days, I think.
To be honest, he really doesn't have anything that does fight except for the Prince and the Rima Knights.
Prince, Rima Knights.
Fight.
That's about it.
The Fire Phoenix can fight in the pinch. He doesn't really want to fight. He just wants to dance, and he's going to shoot you. Like, this is this is a pretty standard European shooting high elf list that I've seen. It watched. I mean, it's been
very common.
That fleet officer, I want to imagine. I think it gives him a 18-inch BSB. Can't remember what fleet officer does for them. It does something different. Oh, it's minimized. That's what it is. Minimized.
Oh.
It's steady aim, +1 for deployment zones, and minimized panics.
Yep.
Minimize
That's why
Usually he has the gun line and then he has a couple counter punches in his pocket. And this one is the counter punch is the Griffin General, the Rima Knights, and as he said, maybe the Phoenixes. I feel like that's really low with the counter punch.
Yeah, it is. Like he's just gonna hope to shoot you and whittle you down and move up on the objective. Like this list, it's gonna struggle with spoils. It's gonna struggle with hold center. It's gonna be pretty easy to get flags off this list. Anything with high armor, like KOE, is gonna just move up. Chummers, ID list, Henry's, Orcs and Goblins could actually move pretty just straightforward and like just laugh at all the damage. Just got to be aware of the Fire Phoenixes and where they're at. That's
this list feels very good into a non-American style.
Yes. Yeah.
I see this list having big issues with horde style armies such as Vermin Swarm. It's just not enough output, and nothing's going to hold them back.
Yeah, I think the worst news this list got was that there were no Sylvan Elves at this tournament.
Yeah.
You dirty horde.
Oh.
Like this list murders all elves, like dark elves, high elves.
Yeah.
Whoever goes first with shooting, this list will peel them off. But unfortunately, American meta is warriors, push forward, orcs and goblins, BC.
Yeah, it's true.
Tolkien's elves may have gone to the west, but not ours. There we go. That's a bit more of a highbrow joke for you, Kane. Like, Josh can bring it up from the bottom, and I'll filter down to the top.
High elf brown.
Wow. I mean, I just messaged in some Discord chat. Like, when I put together these panel of list reviewers, I want about 50%, like hyper intelligence about the games, talk to me about the nuts and bolts of the game and the list and what's in there and what's not. The other half, I want just fun jokes. And I'm not gonna lie, I am so happy I chose this panel. Henry and Josh, you're like perfect for each other. Okay. Pablo, it's a good list, but you just, may the dice gods ever be in your favor, because if you spike your shooting rolls, I don't think you can lose to anything.
And Pablo's a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
So,
don't get me wrong. It's not all luck. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it was all luck. Pablo is a great player, but like I think with this list in particular, he needs his shooting dice to spike.
And if he hits demons and elves, because the true secret of winning any tournament is not having a list that's great at all comers. It is literally just having the matchup lottery line up the way you need it to. And if he hits demons, elves, ogres, he's in the money, right? Yeah. If he hits KOE ID warriors, he's gonna have a rough day. But the literal next list that we're looking at is an elf list. And
Neil,
there's elf list farther down on this, so there's a world, right? There's a world where mass light shooting just gets there.
All right, Neil, bring the Dread Elves. Ooh, Outcast General Master on Cosmology, Binding Scroll Crystal Ball. Outcast Master on Evocation, Double Master. An Officer BSB with some stuff. 34 Spears with the Cadron's Pennon. 2x15 Auxiliaries. 10 Dread Knights. 10 Obsidian Guard. 2 individual Raptor Chariots. 2 individual Hunting Chariots. Divine Altar for Effigy of Dread. And 9 Shadow Riders with Light Lance and Repeater Crossbows. This is this is a list he plays a lot. He just keeps playing this list over and over again.
It's variations of this list, but yes.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought supplemental books weren't allowed at the Masters. What's a Dread Elf book doing here? I thought they got rid of that in the main 16. At least that's what the forums told me. The forums told me Dread Elves weren't playable anymore. The book pretty much doesn't exist, but it seems like it's still in print. So
I've seen more Dread Elves lists and more players playing Dread Elves in the last 5 months than I've probably seen in a long time. Neil's always been a Dread Elf player. And he's probably one of the best in the world for Dread Elves. But you're right, it is a niche army.
Yeah. I just always find it funny when a book is declared dead and then
it reappears.
It starts its numbers actually turn around rather than.
I mean,
Dread elves are dangerous.
Yeah, they are. I remember when the book first came out, they were just unstoppable, and then they got just nerfed like a little bit. I don't think they got nerfed into the ground, and then they just disappeared. But they're still so good. They're so good. They're so good against elite armies. I think they.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're expecting KOE and you're expecting warriors, Dread Elves are a good call.
Yes, they
If you're expecting Sylvans and High Elves, they're not great. But like, if we're just looking above the lists on this one that we've reviewed so far, Dread Elves look like a pretty good read of the room.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Like the secret to this list is the 2 hunting chariots. Those are an issue for a lot of people. They're so good.
Those hunting chariots are so good.
Hunting chariots might be one of the top 10 units in this game. Their biggest problem is the book they sit in.
Yeah.
Like, if they were in any other book, they'd be on conversation for what needs a nerf every single year. But they're in the Dread book, and people just pass it by.
I still think the big spear block, Dread Elf spear block with characters in it and supported by a little bit of buffs is so strong. It's so strong. I mean, yeah, you can you can shoot it down. Yeah, I get that, but like, man, if you got a combat focused list, like, not much can go into that.
Yeah, he's running triple snipes, so he's gonna make sure you come to him.
Yeah.
Or you better hide. And I run heavy triple snipes with my UD. Dark Elves is even better because when they want to get it off, they get it off with that.
Yeah.
With that outcast ability.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to stop them.
Josh, do you want me to take that one, Josh, or when they want to get it off, they get it off?
Wow. All right.
I mean, that joke is probably made for the Dread Elves. Of all the armies to choose do that joke for, Dread Elves makes sense.
They're not such bad guys. The hunting chariots have really good will.
Please, let's move on.
Okay, so I don't think I need. Do I need to ask what kind of list beats this list? It's
the list right above this list.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's shooting. It's shooting. Period. But yeah, I think you're right. He does have some decent matchups in this tournament.
I mean, he channels 1, 2, 5 with Evo, so he's gonna have a dice advantage on you.
Yeah.
And everything causes fear from the from FG of Dread.
Yep, 18 inches.
Get all the channels: VHF, UHF.
Such a good bad movie.
Okay. We gotta move on. Neil, do your thing. You're good. You're a great player. Mr. Jolo Flint, running his empire, which he loves.
At 4,500 points.
4,500 on the dot. Altar of Battle Prelate. Does he have the locket? Yeah, he has the Locket of Suna. Master on Divination, just in his pants on his feet. Knight Commander General on a horse. Light of the Sonstal, Talisman Shielding. Marshal BSB. Crown of the Wizard King. 8 Knightly Orders. 42 Heavy Infantry with Halberds. 20 Heavy Infantry with Halberds. That's a support unit. Crossbows. 4 Knights of the Sun Griffin. 2x5 Readers. 2x8 Rangers. Rockets. And Flagellants. I feel like this is a newer list for Joel. Normally he loves going the crazy MSU. But this is some pretty big blocks. This is chunky.
He's rider sized it.
He knows how he's been playing it for again a few months, and he plays it extremely well. That's all I can say. And the one thing with any Empire list is the synergies. So it's like, all right, I'm going to charge this unit of heavy infantry. Okay, here comes the other small 20-man unit into the flank, or here's stand and shoot. So you got to always keep that in mind, because what if you go charging in, and then rather than doing a stand shoot, he actually charges in with the light infantry into the flank. So, and he does things like that.
It's a lot of synergy. It's almost like a legion of synergy. I gotta go get a beverage.
Ooh,
Just
take a
seeing
breath.
Kenya's face on
Take a
that
breath.
was just priceless.
Yeah, I like this list, and it's kind of funny just looking at what we said about Pablo's list, and we're like, I don't know about this, and then we start just going down beneath Pablo's list and seeing just like good matchup into good matchup into good, and it's like, oh, okay, so this is the read. This is where we're getting where we want to see Pablo's list, where we want to be playing them.
Yeah, Ash's shooting is going to do well against this, right? He has very little shooting. Just the 1 unit of 15 crossbows. Oh, and the Rangers. And the rockets. Yeah, that's a 3.
Yeah, but he's got a master div, and doesn't his altar, doesn't that give a bound div spell?
Yes, it gives bound the
Perception? No.
No.
It's,
the missile, the big
Is it
missile.
the unerring?
It's
Yeah.
unerring.
Yeah.
It's unerring strike. So it's not like he doesn't have range,
Yeah. It's just
and he can just say
elven bow shots are rough, but
and because he is also running he's Empire, he'll just take Quicksilver Lash as
Yeah.
well.
No, this is not bad. It's not a bad list. And plus, Joel's a great player. He's been playing Empire for so long. Any other comments? I mean, we know what can beat this.
This is a solid Joel list. This is a good list. Joel's been playing this for a little bit now. Actually, the 150 point Rocketeer is actually impressed me when I played Joel. For what it does, it's actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, on the right target, it can just blow stuff out of the water.
especially with as the support.
It's more than that. It doesn't misfire. It just takes a wound on a 1, which is great. I mean,
Yeah,
nobody
it's like
loves-
it's a really risky world to be that Griffin character. Like,
yeah. Reroll the hit on that on the Rocketeer can be really scary.
let's get back to the West Coast though. We've been spending too long away
Oh,
California.
Mr. Harrison, the infernal zookeeper himself, is bringing the ID. He loves the ID. Oh, and he did his kind of fun list with the Lugar. Did he do that? Anyway, he's got a Prophet on Lugar, on a Kadim Chariot, Master on Occultism, Kadim Bitings, Great Weapon Flame with the East, Breath of the Brass Bull, Obsidian Rock. His Prophet, this is his general, Prophet of Asaruk, on a seat, Adept on Pyromancy with the book and the... What does the Golden Idol of Shamut do? I don't remember what that does.
It gives bound. Yep.
Vizier BSB with some stuff. 2x22 Infernal Warriors, Shield and Blunderbuss, so like Blunderbuss heavy. 20 Vassal Levies with bows and paired weapons. 3 Tarok Anointed, paired weapons. Double Bastion. Kadim Titan, Walking Volcano, and an Infernal Engine with a rocket battery.
It's like a Cheryl Bastion.
Someone's back.
Josh is back. So Double Bastion goes into both the Infernal Warrior units, and these are just gonna walk around and just...
Yeah. This is a very unique list. It doesn't have a lot of punch to it, to be honest. Like, if someone wants to charge those blunderbuss units, they'll grind them out over time. They don't really have a lot of strength. They're only strength 3. But you better be prepared for counter charges, because he's going to break a lot of combats just be static res. Put on a cherry is very interesting. That's a build that you haven't seen in a while. It used to be very big when ID was out with their divine flaming attacks back in the day. You just don't see that much anymore.
I do love that. I love occultism as a lore, as a concept. Like all the spells make the individual stronger because he's like sacrificing his little minions. And is that profit on a Kadim Chariot big enough to really benefit from all those strengths?
It's a lot of points for a master with 2 attacks. He has D3 grinds up top. He's got another grind. He's got a toxic breath weapon. He's a toughness 5, 5 wounds, MR2, 4 up Aegis, 3 up Aegis with occultism, possibly.
Yeah, he's a secret third Kadim. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, he can
a
he can heal
730
himself.
point Kadim, yeah. Yeah, he can heal himself.
Yeah, it's
which is really
interesting.
I've hit that chariot before, not knowing what it does, and I'm just like, oh, that's what it does.
If you have high armor and don't have a ward save, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Notice.
Yeah,
Notice.
Yeah, Death Cheater, he'll go right through that guy, even though he's a wizard with only 2 attacks.
I'm just seeing these 2 Infernal Warrior Blunderbuss units both with a Bastion in them, running around and getting like 1 shot off and then getting charged. I feel like he needs chaff of some sort.
He has 0 chaff.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ID lists, though. A lot of IDs don't have chaff.
Typically, you're right on that, Mark, but like those units can fight. Like have you seen my list where it's either the Pistol Spears or Immortals or Citadel Guards with Flintlocks? These are just straight 3 shield guys.
I
They're-
completely agree. I was teeing off Josh with the whole chaff comment. You know, obviously I out on that.
yeah.
Like, this list is not going to beat. It's not going to grind anyone out.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe if they were great
It
weapons,
comes
yeah.
down to there's 2 classes of players, right? There's the chaff and the chaff not.
well, this one chaff's not. Oh, yeah, Alex. Maybe I mean, Alex is a good player. I mean, he's seeing something that I don't think we're seeing.
Well, and this list is really strong into high value, low wound pool armies, right? Like the Blunderbuss Bastion. If you're shooting unit of warriors, unit of knights, that's a lot different than just kind of popping shots into the void and killing a few guys before you fight a combat you can't win.
20 shots on 5s and 5s.
Yeah. But if you're killing 60-point knights, that's a lot different.
Very true. Very true.
So that might be the thought is you just don't worry too much about your horde matchup and you focus more on getting the best DV out of every blunderbuss shot.
All right. Alex, I believe in you. Do your thing. Let's see here. Alex. Joel Baccio. Another Bay Area great. Bringing the demons. The 980 point courtesan. Master on Witchcraft, kaleidoscopic flesh, living shield, centipede legs, mesmerizing plumage, roaming hands. That is a model.
You want Roman hands on your courtesan.
We all want Roman hands. Harbinger.
So centipede legs, it gets you.
Depth on evocation. Guided roaming hands. I think that's even better than regular roaming hands.
Oh wow!
I mean, some people don't do it. You gotta help
Some
them
people
out.
need a roadmap.
Sometimes
That's
you
like
need to
a
help them along.
ASMR thing, right? Like, You have to pay by the minute for that.
All right. We have a new person in the chat. Ro, what's up, man?
That was a perfect time to come in, buddy. It was.
Roman hands.
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
We
Yep.
can hear you.
Yes, sir.
We were
Awesome.
just going over Joe Baccio's list with just lots of roaming hands. It's all we've been talking about. 24 Succubi, 22 Lemures, 2 Hope Harvesters, 1 Engine of Damnation, 1 Aura of Despair, 2 × 3 Brazen Beasts, 2 Mageplight Gremlins, and a 6 Veil Serpents. Big block of Veil Serpents.
I love Veil Serpents. They're so good.
Are they 18 or older? Because otherwise they're serpentine.
I see that hasn't missed
Well,
anything.
it's-
He's not skipped a beat, right? Since I've been on, right?
It's been fun.
I need to see some reviews. Need to see some idea over here.
But no, like Veil Serpents are just incredible as far as like just a zoning unit. Just base move 9 is so strong. Move 9 flyers.
It's that and the fact that they can do things to adjust combat with poison.
Yeah,
I mean, they can lower your agility against elves.
they toolbox every
Yes.
single match. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, 18 wounds for 350 that fly. With a, yeah, they're solid. They're definitely a good unit.
Is this the guy that gets stuff as he kills stuff? I played something similar to this. I can't remember if this is it though.
Are you thinking about Legions of Sin?
Could be. Yeah, I remember playing Joel, and I thought he had a list that did that. This obviously isn't that one. I don't remember demons a whole lot, but this guy was. I mean, he's a demon that costs a fifth of his army or a fourth of his army or whatever. So he's gonna put out some damage. That's for sure.
So, where's the punch from this list? I mean, obviously the courtesan is punchy, right?
The Courtesan's punchy. The 2 Brazen Beasts on the charge will go through a lot of units. The Succubi against infantry will really hurt.
Yeah.
The lemurs are gonna have one of the Hope Harvesters with it, with the Aura of Despair in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just gonna be it's combat block of VR. The Mage Blights are an interesting unit because they can ambush within 6 to 8 inches of a wizard, and then they get combat res for every spell that you have. So they'll charge into flank or rear and really cause some issues for people that are not aware. I mean, it's a solid list. The thing is, if you can deal with the Courtesan, you can deal with most of this list.
Yeah. That was my thought. Yeah.
and I think one of the things is just like pay attention to not get scummed by the Veil Serpents.
Yeah.
The fact that they're large beast is sometimes something folks miss, and it's like, yeah, they're a large flyer, so just charge over something standard that's not blocking their line of sight, and you might not think it's a flank, you might not think it's a legal charge, but
I mean, and he's gonna go faster than most of your things, especially with divination, living shield, centipede legs. I mean, it's a solid list. I think I would have rather seen another monster in there, like a maw that can soak wounds up.
Yeah.
Or a scourge to really threaten some back things. But it's a variation of demon list that I've seen out there, where Brazen Beasts are there. Veil Serpents really are the toolbox for the list.
also
Hope Harvesters are no joke either. They do damage. Hope Harvesters, they'll put out.
Yeah,
some,
for sure.
I believe it's also
he's not cool.
this is close to his NATC list as well, so it's one of those shared pools things. And I feel really bad for being unsure about this, considering he's my teammate at NATC, but I've definitely read his list at least once. I would like to tell my team captain that. if you're watching.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the gentleman. He's West Coast, I take it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Joel's good people.
Joel's awesome, yeah.
Cool.
Many a times I drove down from San Francisco and played, had a game day in his garage. He lives down in, what am I trying to say? San Jose or Santa Clara? San Jose.
Okay.
All right, Joel, do your thing. Oh, and also he's an excellent painter. His models are on point.
He is my nemesis.
Let's see here. Okay, what is going on?
What?
See a cat over there. See a cat in the mirror.
Backing cats.
Cat. Brian Auburn is bringing. What is he bringing? KOE.
Looking nice there back there, yo.
Love this dude.
Brian's
He's
awesome.
one of my favorite people.
He's
One of my favorite people in the tournament, in the whole scene. He used to live in Michigan. We used to go to his house, have some drinks, and yeah, love Brian. Miss him.
Let's see here. He's got a damsel on a unicorn, master druidism. Damsel adept on foot, crystal ball. Paladin general on a horse. Bastard sword, shield breaker, basalt infusion, sainted gallantry. He's got a duke BSB on a horse. 11 Knights of the Realm, 11 Knights of the Realm, Knights of the Quest, Sky Heralds, Men at Arms, small block of Men at Arms, a Trebuchet, a Sacred Reliquary, and 5 Yeoman Outriders.
The trap is super interesting. It's not something you really see much.
The what?
The trap.
Yeah.
It's more like a Bobby Boucher, Trebuchet.
God, man.
It's going to be 4 whole days of this in person.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because if
I think I'm rooming with you too, Josh. Oh, man. It's going to be a long week. It's going to be a long week.
I don't know what to say. I like KOE lists. Like I don't have a whole lot to say about them because they're all pretty one-dimensional.
This is a different one. The Men at Arms with the Reliquary are going to go together. So it's a pretty big static res box that can fight. When you charge them, you don't get your devastating charge bonuses. So lances, nullified. It's 2 big lances. One with reroll charges. You can, on one of them, or both of them actually. Both of them have it. And one of them
Then they get the minimized discipline test.
Yep.
Fearless on top of that. Yeah, that's they can hold its own for a little while.
Ladies' favor, he's gonna have a bound hereditary. The unicorns can give him Strider. MR. Druidism is always strong for KOE. He's got divination to adjust soft stats, which is always good.
I didn't even realize you could do a bound hereditary and a regular hereditary.
Oh yeah, yep.
Damn, I didn't realize I could do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have like the paladin in this list is not super scary as far as compared to the other paladin we saw.
No.
So I'm not too sure about the grinding potential. Like quests are an incredible grinding unit when backed up by druidism, but compared to the other KOE list, it's
it's KOE. I mean,
yeah, but
KOE wins most fights just because they're KOE.
Yeah.
Wait,
so what the hell? I don't think I've seen a trebuchet on the table for years.
It's a 6x6 strength 4. No, strength 5 now. Sorry.
Is it 6x6 really?
Or it's either.
I thought it was 6x3. It's like
it's got a weird size.
It's a weird shape, isn't it? I'm looking right now because I know
it might be 5x8. It might be go deep. I can't remember.
I know there's someone furious in the chat right now being like, these guys don't know their rules. They don't know the trebuchet shot art. Calm down. Calm down.
Because there's
That was made very clear on the Discord today. Yeah, the guys don't know the rules. Yeah, yep, I noticed that.
It
man.
is now,
It's by three,
it's now a 4x4.
Oh, it's 4x4
Just a
now.
4x4. Strength 5, AP1.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
4x4, but then it gets a little favor in 6x6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, they can cut it down from a 6x6.
But it's still strength 5 AP1. Warriors don't want to get hit with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
elves definitely don't want to get hit by it, obviously.
Yeah, it's
Warriors always going to get hit by the lady's favor. What are you talking about?
it's very good against elves.
They're lining up for that, Josh. They're lining up. Man.
All right, man. We have to move on. Jesus.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to
Actually,
say, I first
do have
met
hard
Brian
saying.
at Ohio, the Ohio tournament.
Buckeye?
Buckeye, yeah.
Yeah.
And we were doing the team tournament, and he was the beer bitch that day.
Yes,
and
he
every
was.
time we needed, and they would yell, "Hey, beer bitch!" And that's the first introduction to Brian. Dude's a trooper, man. He did it the whole time we were there. Then he's been to many tournaments since then. Now he's in Kansas, so he's a Kansas guy now. So yeah, he's good people, man. I'm looking forward to hanging out with him too, man. Yeah,
He's such a good dude. I love him. I miss him from Michigan. He's one of my favorite people. Just a great attitude. Just a great person.
Yeah,
I miss him.
absolutely.
All right. Yeah, we all like him. He's awesome. But Serb is coming.
Oh, Serby boy.
Oh, Serb on the Highborn Elves.
Highborn elves was just here. There's my review. Shit, it's elves. So yeah, all right.
He's got the High Prince Master of the Krennic Tower with the sliver. He's got a commander on a Griffin BSB with diadem protection, so not the Nova Flare. He's got an adept on alchemy with the book and Order of the Fiery Heart. 24 Sea Guard, 5 Highborn Lancers, 13 Archers, 5 Reavers, 25 Flame Wardens, a Fire Phoenix with Warden's Bond. You don't see that too often. 11 Lion Guard, 2 Lion Chariots, separate chariots, and 5 Grey Watchers.
So, can someone correct me? I think this Highborn Elf list is illegal. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to hit copy and paste multiple times when you're writing a Highborn.
What about 100 points?
Aren't just repeats of each other. So, can someone check to make sure that's okay? I'm unsure. I don't think there's this many entries in the Highborn Elf book.
Just going to make sure that he's not lying.
Oh my god, that was so
Man.
Oh,
Josh,
I got
come on,
backdoored
man.
into that one.
God.
I got backdoored into that one so hard.
God.
But no, I like this list. It's a little grab bag. It's kind of one of everything. Master of Kenrick Tower is still incredibly strong. They keep nerfing him, and he just is so like the amount you get for the points. It doesn't matter how much you nickel and dime his price up. It's still
I don't.
Serber's obviously
Going to be able to grab back.
I don't think I've ever seen a Highborn Elf mage on alchemy. I don't. You
Really?
never see that.
There's 2 in this tournament.
Oh, jeez, no.
The Pablo's has a master on alchemy.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Well, it's
So
not. It's not in the copy paste Highborn Elf list, so I don't know what it is.
It's true. It's true.
The master of Carnegie Tower, however the hell you say that.
Carnegie.
Oh, well,
So-
now he's got to be painted like a clown. Like, if he's not a clown, I'm gonna have a problem.
So this is just for my own edification and people who are listening say we don't know the rules. Model gains master of spellcrafting, protean magic, wizard, adept. Model has access to alchemy, cosmology, druidism, shamanism, witchcraft, and High Prince must gain 3 additional learned spells.
Yeah. He's
Okay,
gonna have a bunch of one. He's gonna have Serb will take, Quicksilver Lash will take, Druidism he'll take, Awaken the Beast. What you will have to watch out for, because if he gets it off, he'll have Scarification on the Prince, and they really good
That's
luck
not
trying
fun.
to kill him.
Yeah.
No, good luck killing a High Prince. I know Serb very well. We play this match many times. This is an all-comers high elf compared to your skewed high elf list. He feels very comfortable going into a lot of different things. I played this list probably about 15 times with Serb. Serb's a great player. Obviously from Vancouver.
And like those Lion Chariots, if they get cold dice, they're pretty rough because they're not on the +1. But just the stats and output for the points, like they're so efficient.
Yeah, monsters, characters, or anything large don't want anything to do with those chariots. They have to be a high priority. And then you got to watch out for the Phoenix dancing around the edges, which will come back on a 3-up on the Warden's Bond. So just be careful of that as well. Third place this list, amazing.
Yeah.
So
Like
I love Serb. Good dude.
Yeah, I mean, like this is your as you said, it's an all-comers highborn elf list, and that's what made this list so good for so long. Is in the hands of a skilled player, it can really adapt to any situation, right?
Yep.
So good.
All right, Serb. Thank you for. Are you the one of how many Canadian players that we have?
I think there's 2. No, actually, that might be Serb because I don't think Ryan's going anymore unless he's already dropped.
We shall see.
Is Ryan Freiberg on there?
We'll see. We'll see. I thought he was. Oh, anyway.
He was.
Let me just check
After
one
Lindsay
thing
got
here.
through.
Okay, so we're on to Sean, but this is the cutoff point. Everyone before this was someone who got a Masters invite. After this are Gemini players.
oh, that's how this is set.
So to remind everyone, they put the Gemini players with the Masters players. It's gonna be one big tournament, but again, a Gemini player cannot win the title of U.S. or North American Master. It has to be one of the people who received an invite.
And I think each Masters, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but each Masters player is supposed to be like mentoring one of the Gemini players, so we all get assigned a Gemini player at the start of the tournament. We have to like check in with them, make sure they pack snacks, like.
No, it's less
really
mentor
just take 'em
mentee
under
and
our
more
wing.
like your.
It's an accountability buddy.
It's
or maybe a yard bitch if we want to use prison terms, but.
Like Brian, beer.
I got you, Josh. Don't worry.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say
I
let's
think it's to ensure they finish their 6th turn. That's the primary objective. There was a lot of 6th turn language in this write-up to these particular tournaments. Like finish your 6 turns or go fuck yourself. It was very direct. Now I mean, Josh, 6 turns.
We're gonna go through these lists, but we're gonna do it quickly because these are just lowly
hey,
Gemini
Kenny,
players.
real quick.
Yeah.
We're the
Real quick,
chapter.
hey, so was it 2 events at first? One on Thursday and one on Friday, and now it's
No,
a
they
whole
were.
event. Is that
It was
They
two
were
parallel events.
Yeah. There was going to be 2 events, but they were going to be parallel with each other, both 5-game tournament, but just run at the same time.
Okay.
And
But they merged them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Considering
Sean.
We're about to review all the good lists, so I hate to do it, but I actually have a hard stop. So I am going to have to sign off and deprive you of my magnificent humor.
That's work. That sounded
Do you
like
have-
work, man.
Do you have like 2
No,
seconds?
man.
Do you have 2 seconds to review your own list?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's come back to Sean's. Let's do Josh, and then we don't have to see his hard stop live on the air. Josh joke.
Wow.
Yeah, was that a euphemism for something, or what the fuck, man?
It was more of a euphemism. Sorry.
All right, come on. What's in this list?
Okay.
We have an almost characterless list reviewing. We got the Alchemy General and the Chief with the book and the braces. We got the Scythe Wheel Wizard Adept with the Rod of Battle because we got to double up and rerolls. I was very loath to get rid of the the item that gives you the extra hereditary spell, but really everything else in the army is now strength 6 for the most part, so I don't think I need reroll the wound anymore unless it really is in a pinch. So I could take the hereditary instead, and then that's 50 points. So 22 Greed Warriors, 6 Fallen. We gave up on the Chosen Knights and went with Feldrax because more wounds, better armor, better speed. Not exactly the better agility, so I got to be a little bit more careful on them getting charged. But if I just hang back with them, they can clean up whatever's left. So 2 Forsaken ones, because 1's not enough and 2 seems to be plenty. A Chosen Chariot where all the marks or take your pick, they're basically free. So I went with Envy, and I'm thinking the 4 dice maximize charge and pursuit and overrun sounds rather useful. And then 3 5-packs of Chosen with Great Weapon and Wrath. Had to cannibalize one of the musicians for points and a unit of chaff. So it punches above its weight. It gets taken down easily, but because the Forsaken ones are in there and the Feldrax are in there, the range is in there in the sense that you have to deal with them first, and the Chosen kind of go wherever they're going to go. And everybody else just kind of hangs back and does what they need to do as they need to do it. So I'm very curious to see how it plays out especially against like Masters lists. Like I expect to get the floor mop with me. I've done something wrong, I know it, but I don't think Mike Maddox wants to see this list. And I have problems with people like Micah definitely wants to see this list.
Yeah.
So that's about where I'm at. It's not an all comers, but it should be fun. And with this list, I can do 6 turns. You know what I mean? This is not a overly think it, set up all the counter angles. This is just a plug and play, go Joe go.
Yeah, I like the evolution of this list of the past 2 years. Also, I think the five packs of Chosen are smart because of their extra support rule. If you want to do like little Chosen cubes, it's on the table. Yeah, I think this list is solid.
Especially those little 5 Chosen blocks with Wrath Great Weapon they're fun. There's fun little 295 point kill some stuff units.
And if they're running as fast as they can behind everything else, movement 10's plenty. Like they'll get there.
Yeah. Excellent.
So
I love the list, Josh. I love the changes you made. This is gonna be fun for you.
Josh, when you get in?
Night time.
Friday?
I think we get there at like 10:20 or something. 10:15.
Wednesday.
On Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Oh,
Wednesday
so you're
night.
there for the long haul. Okay, all right. I'll see you Friday.
Yeah, we're there the whole way. We're there. Come on. Have Dragon will travel. But it's interesting that we're like starting late on Thursday. So currently we're starting on California time, which suits me fine. But that just means you have to go hard the first night.
Yeah, it means you can go hard as you want Wednesday night.
Yeah, two
Looking forward to seeing y'all, man. Looking forward to seeing you.
Doing 2 into 3
So
is really nice.
All right, we're gonna go through again. We're gonna go through this list real quick. Thank you, Josh. We'll talk
See
to
you,
you
Josh.
Later.
My apologies for the departure. No matter where you go, there you are.
Thought we were going to get a better pun than that when he was leaving.
I thought we were going to get a weird angle on the hard stop, so I'll take that.
Weird angle on the hard stop.
All right, Sean's Beast Herd list: Beast Lord, Ambush Beast Lord with Cleansing Light, Great Weapon, Crystal Ball, Soothsayer, Ambush, Adept on Druidism, Soothsayer, Ambush, Adept on Shamanism, BSB, Ambush, of course, with the Greater Totem Bearer, 37 Mongrel Herd with Spears and Ambush, 2x3 Raiding Chariots, 25 Longhorns with Ambush, 24 Longhorns with Ambush, a Briar Beast, Gortak, Cyclops. So we've got...
Is this army ambushing?
Just a little bit.
No, I can't tell. Yeah, I can't tell if they are or not. Yeah.
Double Longhorn and then 1 Mongrel unit ambushing with the characters in all those.
Yep.
And a Briar Beast.
Yeah. My biggest criticism of this list is we only have 1 Briar Beast.
Yeah.
Briar Beasts are awesome.
Like,
Oh, they're cheap.
That's
Yeah,
actually a
they're-
good point, man. I actually changed my tune on Briar Beast lately. And I started thinking minimum 2 when you start putting them in there. But 85 points is not a lot, but it adds up really quickly. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, the Briar Beasts are just, I mean, they can hold up some stuff. I tried to fit them in my latest list, but I ultimately went to Empire. That's a whole nother thing. I do like the 2 Cyclops. Those rocks are hit or miss. Sorry for the pun there. I'll take over the puns now that Josh is gone. But those aren't bad, man. I had decent luck with Cyclops. Gortog is cool. The ambush and stuff he's got a full ambushing army here. I don't know. I've tried the ambushing way before. I haven't had much luck. Maybe he'll be a little bit different than me.
Yeah, ambush never did anything for me when I was playing an ambush list.
He plays it well. He's been running this for our tryouts, and he's had some success with it. You know, it helps that he can ambush turn 1.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So he gets to dictate a lot of areas. Like, he'll beat up on people that don't know how to defend, that don't corner right away. Like, if they try to spread out, he'll pick on one side and come in.
Yep.
And the Cyclops are just annoying with MR3. That's just wrong. I mean, you just can't magic missile them off the board like things you want to do.
And you have a KOE Lord running around the table. You throw 2 or 3 rocks at it and get lucky, and then it's divine hits.
Yeah. Yep. Everything they do is divine.
Yep.
Yeah, and,
I mean, they can't hit for shit, but I mean, they're only off its 2.
Yeah.
The thing you don't see them much anymore, but Pyromasters, the incidental MR3 for the Cyclops really helped the style of list against the bubble. Just accidentally hitting the Cyclops into the Pyro bubble was always really strong, and that's something this list doesn't like. So, yeah, incidental MR3 and an Aegis save on that cheap of a body.
I'm very curious to see how this list does. I'll be definitely watching this list with the list out there, because it will give, like, this list will actually give Pablo's list some problems with all that shooting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If Pablo's not careful, because he'll put him in a bad position right away.
Especially like that's where I really want to see the second Briar Beast is. Like just lean harder into that. Briar Beast special rules, if you lose, like, the Briar Beast is one of the few models in the game that actually rewards you for winning the roll for table sides, which is a roll that you win but you actually lose in most games of 9th Age. And this is the one, Briar Beasts are one of the few units that's like, oh no, if you win the roll for table sides, it's actually good for you.
Yeah, I think my one criticism is I don't like the Gortak in this list, because Gortaks are great, right?
Yeah.
But with this the ambushing, there's such a target for any shooting list you're facing. So I think
that's true.
Especially when he's partnered with MR3 monsters.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well, you made my choice for me.
And I think
I would have rather the Gortak been a 3rd Cyclops and the Briar Beast.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That was
that's
exactly
or Jabberwock. Those Jabberwocks
or Jabber, yeah.
Those Jabberwocks are dirt cheap for what they do.
Gortog is nice, but I mean, like you said, you made a choice for him. Strength 4, Strength 3. I'll just got to roll some 6s, and you don't get any kind of save. That's
he's too fragile.
Yep.
Okay. Right. Moving on. We got Mal coming up from the Caribbean. I don't know which island he lives on, but one of the Caribbean islands. He loves his Saurian ancient.
It's one in the ocean.
Tegu veteran on a raptor. Cleansing light, vital essence, obsidian rock. There's a smokestone again. Double smokestone in this tournament. My mind is blown.
I haven't seen it in any list until twice in this tournament.
The secret is it's just crack. That's the stone they're smoking. It's just crack.
Veteran on foot with Celestial Astrolabe, Lightning Vambraces, and the Big Bow. 18 Tego Warriors with Spears and the Champion. 2x4 Cayman Warriors, both with the champion enclave, that's gotta be a mistake. Because you can only take the one spell, so he's doubling up on that
He's not. No, it's not a mistake. You double up and you spread them out. You put 18 inches on one side, 18 inches on one other side, and then you have full coverage.
Fair enough. Skink Warriors with Spear and Shield with the champion. 14 Skink Hunters, 8 Raptor Riders, 3 Pterodon Riders, 2x2 Weapon Beast Spearbacks, 2x9 Gorillas with Blowpipes, Carnosaur, and 2x2 Stygiosaur with the Wizard upgrade. It's a weird list. It's very MSU.
I like it.
So I had to look up Smokestone. It's just 18 inches for minimize. Minimize.
Earlier in this list review, we had a whole discussion about it, and it's like we don't think it's good, but some people think it's good, so we'll see.
I mean, for 10 points, if you got an extra 10 points laying around, throw it in. Yeah.
No, it can't be 10 points. It's not 10 points, is it?
That's what I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it says 10 points.
Oh snap! Okay, I couldn't be.
That's why I say if you got. Nah, I don't think you start your list with that and then build around it. I think if you have 10 points left, you add it. Yeah.
It's a key building block to any Saurian list.
The whole list revolves around that magic item.
I really like the 4-packs of Caimans with Banner of Discipline.
Yes.
That is a very versatile. You can leave them on their own. They can take an objective and just sit out the rest of the game and you're happy. Or they can be in the line and doing things. Like that is the unit I really like. And it comes out of core, which is when you get reliability and versatility out of core, that's when the list is doing something right.
Yeah.
Again, another lizard list with only 5 spells. He's got double
because one's a repeat.
Yeah.
5 spells, and he has the Astrolabe too, so all of them are one lower.
Yeah.
To cast.
I mean, I like the list. I like the Spearbacks. Strength 5 AB2. The Carnosaur is going to go in with the Tegu Veteran with the Raptor Riders.
Yep.
That's going to be a very hard unit to dislodge.
Yeah, that's going to be like just a Scud missile of a unit.
Pterodons are very good.
And
yeah,
like
it's an MSU list. I mean, people are going to know how to deal with it or they're not.
And there's always the thing about the Saurian Cowboy is if you don't have an answer to him, he is such a nightmare.
Yeah.
And if you do have an answer to him, he hangs out in a unit. So it's like
he does not have a BSB.
Yeah, but who needs them? You're cold-blooded.
You're cold-blooded. You've bought your 2 Banner of Disciplines or where that is.
I mean, those Stygiosaurs desperately need Discipline Banners. They don't have no BSB. They're not fearless. They're only leadership 6.
Yeah, but also he's running them. He's running them only two of them, so they're not huge, expensive units, right?
No, but panics, and then you start running, and this enemy's just gonna crumble.
Yeah.
Like on the outside, like a monster or giant just scares those things off, and then you have other issues.
Yeah, and you do have the Pterodon Riders and the Gorillas, so like you have a lot of kind of ticky-tacky units that definitely can just accidentally flee a bit too far.
Yeah. A lot of panic tests.
All right. Miles a cool guy though. I every time I see him, he's a cool guy. Ryan, I don't know who Ryan is.
Ryan Sinister. He is the captain for Team New Zealand. One of my favorite people at ETC. He's such a good dude. Super good dude. Love this guy. And he's probably, to be honest, he's not bringing his main army, but he's probably one of the top players in the world.
Ooh.
I think that highly of him. He's such a good dude.
Ooh, those are some strong words. Dread Elves, Warlock Outcast Master on Witchcraft, Scepter Power Talisman of the Void, an Exarch General, Oracle of Doom, Essence of Mithril, Paired Weapons, Shield Breaker, a BSB with some stuff, 37 spears, 2x15 auxiliaries. I feel like I've said this before. 28 Judicators. That's a big Judicator unit.
That is a very big unit.
5 Warlock Acolytes, double Hunting Chariot, double Hydra.
So much like the Smokestone, the Hunting Chariots are what you start a Dread Elf list with.
You pretty much do. like your list is like 4,100, and then you just add it.
The double Hydra is fun.
It's good.
Yeah.
The Eye of the Gorgon banner is going to sneak up on people if they don't pay attention. The Executioner banner, obviously on the spear, is always +1 to wound, is pretty common.
Yeah.
Witchcraft Master is going to give a lot of people, like, they don't pay attention, because he will definitely make you random move, because he'll push forward and he'll mess with your agility, he'll mess with your Raven's Wing, or reroll the wound, and then if you stop those, then he's going to random move you.
Even just the -2 to cast also.
Yep,
Like,
Twisted
really,
Effigy.
because one of the things looking at this list is like it does not like alchemy, but Twisted Effigy really helps you against alchemy.
I mean, he doesn't really care about alchemy, and the Hydras kind of care, but they have 7 wounds. He does not want to see Pablo. He doesn't want to see Pablo.
That's
sure.
kind of where
Yeah.
where I was getting to is Pablo and Jorge both seem like pretty miserable matchups. Yeah, I like this list. I think this list pairs best is you need to be prepared to play against some Warriors players.
Yeah.
That Judicator unit gets a hold of something, they're dead. That's KOE across the board.
I just got one thing to say. Bryan is coming in, playing in. Basically, he got backdoored into our Masters tournament. I'm just calling out to all of the North Americans playing in this tournament. If he wins this tournament, I'm going to be upset.
Well,
he is good enough to win the tournament. He is. He will definitely be
Bryan,
in contention.
you seem like a great
luckily,
guy.
he can't be our master because he's not qualified for the U.S. Masters. He can still win the tournament.
Yeah, but he can still win the tournament. It will be a hit to our self-esteem, our egos. Please don't let this happen.
Ryan, I'll when we play in the final round on table 1, I'll bend the knee so that this gets to get taken out of the U.S.
Oh,
don't worry.
All right.
Pay no attention to the fact that it's a good matchup for me.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Adam Hilton. Another KOE list. Damsel, General, Adept, Shamanism. Folk Hero. It's the first Folk Hero we've seen. Shield, Forces of Faith, BSB, Legion Standard, Heavy Armor, Alchemy, Book of Arcane Mastery, Bannerman, Minstrel. Folk Hero, Light Armor, Quinn.
Quinn is the Witchcraft Adept. I'm also unsure if it's the first Folk Hero we've seen. I think Josh Gurn was on the stream for quite a while before that. And he's kind of like a Folk Hero, folk legend.
He is a legend for sure.
Like the love child between Tom Bombadil and Sasquatch. So
2 Folk Heroes, 15 Knights, 2x30 lowborn levies with halberd and shield. 10 archers, 12 Knights of the Court, 9 Knights of the Court, 6 peg Knights, 30 Men-at-Arms, Sacred Reliquary, Friar's Lantern.
Yeah.
That's a lot going on there.
Yeah. Does anyone want a cat?
I see some issues back there. So this is actually a foot list with some lances as support, which is really cool. Adam's a good dude. He's a Midwestern indie guy. He's gonna be coming with Mike. that Knights Forlorn unit with the men at arms with their reliquary will give a lot of people issues if they don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
30 levies for 200 points at strength 4. That's dirt cheap.
Yeah, I know. It's
almost
so cheap.
And they have an agent save.
Wheel turns is a sleeper for this list.
Yep. I mean, he's got shamanism +1 strength, divination. He has witchcraft. He's got 6 spells that you got to be aware of. It's not a list. Plus, you got the Peg Knights flying around that you just can't ignore.
I love out of meta lists, and this is certainly out of meta.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mike helped write him this list.
Come on, give him the credit. Come on.
No, I'm 99.9% positive of that.
Oh, we have a second New Zealander.
I know. Is this the Brothers Semester? Is that what this is?
Yes, it is. This is Russell.
So I'll say it again. Don't let the New Zealanders win. Don't let them win. VC, we got a Vampire Count, Adept on Cultism, Destiny's Call, Paired Weapon Kingslayer, Curse Medallion, Lamia Commandment, Necromancer, Master on Alchemy, 40 ghouls, 24 skeletons, 20 zombies, 2x2 bat swarms, 8 ghasts, 31 barrel guard with the flaming standard, Court of the Damned, Cadaver Wagon, 5 Vampire Knights.
Yeah, this list is sticky. Like, this list is so sticky. Do not go into this list. Do not fight this list unless you have a plan, pretty much, because Commandment, Lamia, 8 Ghasts, both those units just don't go anywhere. Yeah, I like this list. I like this list a lot, actually. Also,
wait. Tell me what Lamia Commandment does again.
It is the
Distract and issue a challenge. You gotta accept it.
And Commandment is the one that passes out her weapon skill, offense.
Oh yeah.
Offense, defense.
So she can just hyper buff a unit she's in.
Yep.
What's the one that makes them always accept a kit challenge? Is that Commandment?
No, that's a different one now. It is like Dread Beckoning or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm surprised they didn't put the +1 to hit on the barrel gun. What do you call it? The Black Legion banner?
Oh yeah.
So Commandment is offense defense set to 6. The one you're thinking of is Mesmerizing Gaze.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
So she's going in the barrel guard, right?
Absolutely.
The barrel guard.
Yeah.
Or because there's the court in there also, there's a world where she can just go into the ghouls. Because the court takes up 12 spaces, 15 spaces, and does a similar thing for Barrowguard that she does.
I'm gonna imagine the court's gonna go in that skeleton banner with that Legion banner. Skeleton with that Legion.
I did not even see the skeletons. Scratch everything I said. I think they just both go in there and just make those skeletons dead hard.
Yeah. Plus, he's got a Cadaver Wagon for regen. Makes the gas a little bit more in the ass.
Makes the gas trolls that get back up again.
And Russell's a good dude. I think he played a version of this here recently at ETC. Solid player.
And the bat swarms chipping into a combat, like not going full bore into the combat,
helps
but
so
just
much.
flipping in. Their debuff and their stats. It is good that unit is so, like, big units is so awkward to move around the table because, man, points per model, points per wound. Bat swarms are the real deal.
Yep. All right, what we got next?
All right. We got Devin Meadows. All right, Devin.
So one thing I'm going to say is I find it super interesting that for the Masters list, there were no ogres, no rat. But once we rolled in Gemini, we picked up ogres and rats. But it's kind of interesting as like a little look at where the game is right now. But
yeah,
ogres are probably one of the bottom books, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really, really are. They just lack against the new books in a lot of places.
So he's got the big shaman master with the ritual bloodletter, really fun. Gut roar. Great con general with a bunch of stuff. Con BSB, does he have? No, he has the banner of Ganget, a mammoth hunter, Karkadon's resilience, touch of greatness, ogre crossbow, headhunter, leader of the pack. 9 bruisers with the pen of the Great Grass Sky. 10 saber-tooth tigers, that's where the mammoth hunter's going. 3 tribesmen. Really, no? Or
No, he's gonna go the solo saber-tooths and shoot out and just run around and cause problems.
6 Mert Vets with Iron Fist, Swift Stride, Vanguard. 3 Tusker Cav, single saber-tooth tiger, and 2 times 3 bombardiers. Really? He's not going to go in the big block of saber-tooth tigers, and then so that
he might be there, but I doubt he'll be there. Like he's better off running around doing his thing, wasn't issues. I mean, he can.
Oh, one thing I'm going to say to Devin, just know if you play VC, they both have Barrow Guard. Barrow Guard do multiple wounds too against Saber Cats.
Yes.
Do not put your 10-pack anywhere near anything that says Barrow Guard or Barrow anything, because it is one of the funniest interactions that barely ever comes up in this game. But Barrow Guard having multiple wounds too against standard is just matters for Saber Cats pretty much. Man, a single cat costs 100 points these days. That's
a tragedy.
That's wild, considering 10 cats cost 325.
Yeah.
Buy one, get 9 free.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's an okay ogre list. I'm not blown away with it.
Ogre lists really have to get one thing or the other thing. They don't get to have their cake and eat it.
Yeah. It's a little bit of everything. He went with the 4 characters, which I think is pushing the list.
Yeah. The Vanguard and Merc Vets, that's interesting. So he's going to try to be out. If he's going to do Vanguard and Merc Vets, it'd almost been better to do the, what do they call them, Kin Eaters in the backfield kind of thing to kind of threaten from both sides. But yeah, it's an ogre list. Unfortunately, I think he's gonna beat the people if he knows this list, and I'm not familiar with this player. If he's good with it, he'll beat decent lists, but he'll struggle against higher quality armies.
Yeah. Oh, Devin, do your thing. Devin's a good player. And he's got fun models. He's got really fun models. Is this Dennis? Is this Dennis LaValle? Yeah, this is Dennis LaValle.
I believe it is. Yeah.
I believe the last name is Dennis Skavenlord. I think that's his.
Excuse me, Mr. Skavenlord. Your table's ready.
It might be his married name, but.
No, I know Dennis.
Proud,
I know Dennis from
Northwestern Skavenlords.
I know Dennis from way back when I was living in Colorado, and he came up from Texas, and then I moved away from Colorado, and then he moved to Colorado from Texas. Anyway, he's been playing VC forever. I'm sorry, VS forever, and he's a super cool guy. I'm glad he's gonna be there. Ruinous Dictator General, I love it. Adept on Cultism, Lord of the Legions, Avatar of Udius. I don't know what those 2 upgrades do. Are one of those 2 the makes everything unstable?
It could be. One of them should be the MR2
Yeah.
one.
This is
I mean,
this is why people
They keep
say,
changing it. Like I have no idea. Like
He's got a Swarm
what
Priest,
what were they?
the Lord
Legions.
of the Legions, and Avatar of Udius.
Lord of Legions is hatred. Friendly units within commanding presence get unstable.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Udius, which is fortitude 4+ hard target 1.
So this is the cool list. This is where he turns all of his units into unstable, and you can't break anything.
Yep.
He's got triple Swarm Priest, one of which is on a bell. On Thaumaturgy, Occultism, and Witchcraft. So he's running the Holy Triumvirate.
Yep.
House Prefect with a Storm Rocket. House Prefect, another Radichet Technocrat. 2 blocks of Black Fur Veterans. 1 big block of Legionnaires. 1 block of Slaves. 6 block of Brutes, of Memorial Brutes. Do they have the...
They have Giselles.
They have Giselles. 32 Plague Disciples. I'm assuming that's... No, I don't know where that could go. And then a Scorch It Ordnance and a Moss Rifle. And then 2 Arena Beasts. Man, there's a lot in this list.
Yeah.
Dirt cheap. So the Plague Disciples are going to be poison. If you roll a 1 to hit them, that's going to be a toxic hit back. They're unbreakable if they have more ranks than you, or if they're steadfast. The Morello Brutes, obviously, with Giselles are toughness 5, strength 4, AP 2. With Giselles, so they're going to get 6 shots, whatever. It's a good unit. Slaves are dirt cheap for what they do.
Yeah, it's just like it's gonna with the unstable thing. It's the whole army's a tar pit, right?
Oh, so actually, that Swarm Priest of Occultism with Blood Packs actually goes into the Disciples. They will wound you with poison on a 5-up instead of a 6-up.
Ooh.
You can pick. He's got Comet Access. He's got all the spells for Occultism he can pick from. He's got the 1 through 4 for Witchcraft. One of those, that Techno Rat will probably be attached to the Brute, so they're hitting on 4s instead of 3, or hitting on 3s instead of 4s.
The Sacred Platform Swarm Priest is the Whispering Bell, not the Plague one. So it's not the Plague one. It's the one that's locked to Black Fur or Legionaries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. The Cultism Wizard with the Cult of Aramon and Bloodpox. He's on foot.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the Sacred Platform.
No. Yeah, the third one down. He goes into the Bloodpox bag, guys.
I think this is a really good list. I think this is a really, really good list.
BS is one of those armies. If you do not understand it, it will run you over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think even the discussion here shows the secret strength of the VS book, which is every single person discussing this list has had to pull up the book and look up something. And I think all 3 of us were wrong at one point in time and had to be like, what? Wait. Sorry. I need to go back. That was whatever the last version of the VC book was, or the version before that. And just, if you know your rules and they think they know your rules, but they're playing 1 or 2 books out of date, that wins games on its own.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's kind of always been one of the strengths of the Rat book, is just weight of rules.
Yeah, and it's compounded too. This is not a meta VS book. This is an obscure built around the Lord of the Legions Ruinous Dictator, and so it's even more like, oh, what's happening right now?
And it's not like it kind of sounds like I'm knocking the Rat book, and I'm not. I just think that the strength of books that don't see as much play is the fact that they don't see as much play. Where everyone knows everything in the Highborn book, which is why we were joking earlier about there being picks in there that shouldn't exist. But when you get to the Rat book, if you see 1 Rat player out of 50 games, that's a strength for the Rat player.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like this list from what I understand of it.
All right, let's move on. Second to last, Casimir the Swede, the famous 9th Age player.
Okay. If we can't let a New Zealander win the U.S. Masters, can we at least let a Swede win the U.S. Masters?
No, I will not allow it. I will not allow.
Okay.
I love this
Okay.
list.
UD, Death Cult Hierophant on the Ark, Master in Divination, Crystal Ball Hierophant, Terracotta. Oh, it's a Terracotta army. Pharaoh General on a horse, Cleansing Light, Jackal's Blessing, Scepter, Blessing Wraps, Terracotta, Commander of the Terracotta Armory, Tomb Harbinger on a cowboy, basically, Hero's Heart, Essence of Mithril, another cowboy, Ghostly Guard, Scourge of the Kings, Crown of Autocracy, Terracotta, a casket, 2x4 chariots, a unit of 13 cavalry, 3 tomb cataphracts, and a triple battle sphinx.
So this list has 1, 2, 3 toughness 6 models and 3 toughness 8 models. It's got 2 units of toughness 5.
That's crazy.
That Pharaoh on the horse is a toughness 6, 7 wound model with a 5-up regen.
He's stubborn too, isn't he? Or am I
He
too-
is stubborn as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. With autonomous, yeah. He can't heal. Like, for every wound that you do against this army is major, because he can't heal for crap.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the Book of Dead. I would have loved to see the Book of the Dead in this list. Those Harbingers are very, very nasty. One of them is going to have a 2-up armor with 5 attacks, AP 2, with Lethal Strike on the Harbinger with a Hero's Heart. The other one's going to have a 1-up armor with 6 attacks, and if he's in a duel, he's going to reroll the wound automatically. The Casket shuts down magic. It's -1 to cast for all spells within 36 inches.
This is the kind of list that you want to play in one of the objective games. Like, if you're going to play against this list, you want it to be like Secure Target or one of the ones where you have to make his fairly slow scoring units go get it.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I think that's one of the few weaknesses of the list is mobility of scoring.
No. He's got 2 chariots that move. They're scoring. Cav are scoring. Cataphracts are scoring. Everything moves 7 to 8 inches.
Yeah.
The Battle Sphinx moves 6-12. I mean,
This is
you're either gonna have an answer for this list or you don't.
Yeah, it's a very deceptive list, I feel like. It's like it turns UD on its head and you're like, what exactly am I fighting?
And UD, much like my point about the Rat Book, has the strength of being one of the books that lives on the fringes. Like, when it's good and popular, it's there. But I think we went, 2 years without seeing UD in, tournaments, and then you'd make a joke if you saw UD list at a tournament. You're like, oh, we found the one. We found the unicorn. So when they show up, there is just a lot of newer players haven't played against it, and a lot of older players remember it from editions that it doesn't do that anymore. So it's one of those strength in the unknown lists.
I've been running UD now for a year. I love the army. It's by far one of my favorites. It is a lot of fun to play. This is a little bit different style than I like. Terracotta is a lot tougher because it's not very forgiving, because you can't heal. And you don't have the tools that, like when I played you, Kenyon, at Canada, where I didn't have the triple Necroguard units, which is... But, yeah, this is a good list. I like this list a lot.
Also, triple or quad terror. Battle
One,
Sphinxes, and I think the Pharaoh.
No, Pharaoh's not Battle of Terror. He's only Fear. You're on mute, Kenyon. Are you there? I can't hear you.
I'm on mute. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I see your lips moving.
You were referring to that one game where I played you in Canada where I beat you.
You did. You absolutely did.
Was the crap? That's the feather in my cap of my 9th age career, was beating ETC team captain Andrew.
Oh, come on. Oh, you played that game well. That was
Anyway,
a fun game. You kept running from me.
I know I did. I was a coward. God, this list is. I really like this list. It's gonna sneak up on armies that don't have the weapons to deal with it. All the toughness.
So my one goal, Casimir's playing also at an ATC. My one goal of the weekend is, out of the 10 games I play, I would like to play Casimir.
He's a good player. He's a very good player.
Dude, you're already playing 10 games over the weekend. Just challenge him to a fun game Thursday morning or something.
He and I have, since I've done so much with the UK 9th and 8th scenes, just kind of from over here, he is one of the players who we have been in the periphery of each other enough that I would really like to get a game with him. But playing an 11th game in 4 days kind of sounds like a misery fest. Not gonna lie.
10 good, 11 too much. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, 5 good, 10 too much. 11 is like firm nail and coffin.
All right, let's jump to Joe Finlayson's
The last
list. The last list here. Joe Finlayson is it's a tricky pick because he's a really great player and he's sneaking in to the Masters in Gemini, so he's going to cause some people some trouble. But he's got the Ruinous Dictator also, Adept on Cultism. I am the Senate, Obsidian Rock, Avatar of Udius. Swarm Priest, Adept on Witchcraft. Swarm Priest, Adept on Thaumaturgy. House Prefect with Giselle. And Rakachit Technocrat. Triple Assassin. 2 huge blocks of Black Furs. A block of Legionnaires. 8 Murmillo Brutes. 2 blocks of Murmillo Brutes. 10 Giant Rats. 6 experimental teams with rotary guns. This is big block. This is big block.
Yep. Big block, high agility, fights pretty well. Star Wars puns, like this list kind of has all.
Yeah, just the block of brutes, both of them. So one has halberds, has Weapon Master, right? Sacred Aquila. And the other one has Giselle's.
And this list can just kind of play the shooting game with you if it has to.
Exactly, yeah.
Which I think having that pivot point for a lot of armies is important, because not every game is a combat game. So being able to pivot to a shooting game if you actually need to is very important.
Yeah, and it's just going to take a lot to get through those Black Fur veteran blocks. Jesus.
Yeah.
Joe's a very, very good player.
I know.
Very good
That's I was just saying.
Yeah.
Joe's a sneaky pick to come in on Gemini, and then all of a sudden he's playing in the Masters tournament.
I really got to know him at Masters last year, and yeah, he's a good dude. I like Joe a lot. And he's a very, very good player.
I'll simply remind him of being there when he got his start in 8th edition up in Red Bluff, up in the Northern California hills. I'll just remind him who gave him those early practice games. It was me.
It was me. All right. That is all the lists. It's been almost exactly 3 hours.
Oh, 2 hours of Josh Buns.
Guess what? We are not getting to the team tournament this evening.
Ooh.
We will we'll try to get to the team tournament list review at a later date, hopefully sometime next week, or this week, I mean. I'll talk to these guys again and see if we can make this happen again. We'll go through the list a little faster so it isn't 3 hours long. But this was really fun. It was great to get back into 9th Age to talk with you guys. I love hearing from you guys.
Sure.
And you know, talking some 9th Age. Man, I missed it. It's 9th Age. So I'm gonna try to get back. I am not gonna be there for this. I wish I could, but I can't. But I'm gonna try to make it out to some tournaments right after that. I'm trying to. Maybe the Portland tournament. I really want to go to the San Jose tournament.
Wait. You won't be at Nazi at all? Is that what you're saying?
I will be at Nazi not at all.
Wow. Oh, you got a new kid or something? What kind of excuse is that?
What the
man?
heck? What the heck?
Yeah.
And also, Ro, I'm trying to make Red River Rumble also work. So there's still 9th Age tournaments out there going. I'm still excited to go to them. People are still signing up for them. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for joining me.
Yeah.
Call.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I
When is Rumble again? It's coming up soon, isn't it?
the Red River.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's March 23rd and 24th. So I'm gonna talk about it whenever we're there at Nazi. Hope we can get a couple more. We're at 16 right now. A little bit lower attendance this year. I think because of a number of things, because of Old World coming back, and I don't know where everybody's group is at with that kind of stuff. But that's one of them. It just I don't know, kind of the flux of everything going on right now. But kind of lower right now. We're gonna have a good time either way. It's March 23rd and 24th. Hoping we get a couple more after this Nazi. And like you, Kenyon, I won't be there Thursday, but I'm off on Friday. Plan on helping my wife get the kids ready and everything Friday morning. I'm going to take off and head that way. I should be there by 12 o'clock Friday. Told Jeff I could do some ringer activity if that's needed. So would help because I haven't got to play much lately. So would help me get a couple games in. If so, help finish out that tournament on Friday. And then I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. Rob will be coming in, and the Boggs boys will be coming in Friday afternoon from Wichita.
Yeah, so when I was...
How are you?
Say again?
How far from Omaha are you, bro?
Omaha, isn't that where we went last year? I think that's like 4 hours, I think. Omaha?
Nebraska? All right.
Yeah.
I'll be down there next week for work, so...
Oh, okay.
I might bring my army down. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, with all this stuff going on with the Old World coming out, people, a lot of other interests besides the 9th Age right now. And I was really like, considering like, do I want to go to 9th Age tournaments? And I realized like, I don't care that much about the game. I care about hanging out with you guys. I care about hanging out with the people I see at every tournament, doing the same thing, having a good time. So, man, I'm committed. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
I have to go firmly discipline a cat. So, just gonna call it here. I've just been watching him spend the last hour just destroying things to, I guess, get my attention. But
all right, well we'll call it here. Thank you everyone, and thank you Henry, and we will see you guys later.
Yeah. See you, man. Thanks.
Yep.